don't have forever. Maybe I could take your pain and turn it into pleasure. Into pleasure. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. Just say that you'll be, say that you'll be. I'd be there for you whenever you need me. But you've been holding back. Maybe you're just not ready. Baby, do you feel the same? Or do you feel the pressure? I promise I can take your pain and turn it into pleasure. Into pleasure. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too. As time goes by, my love grows stronger. Can you feel it the same way I do? As time goes by, I can't wait any longer. Just say that you'll be with me too.
Deep minds, we were forced to be alone. Unknowns and nowhere is the same. And even when it seems like there's no way out, we'll grow a little closer. Through water, we flow. All of us together, we're good, we flow. Nothing is the same, but I won't hold back. I won't hold back. I won't hold back. 'Cause we're better together. Better as one. 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 Deep minds, we were forced to be alone. Unknowns and nowhere is the same. Grow a little closer, we're water, we flow. All of us together, we're good, we flow. Nothing is the same, but I won't hold back. I won't hold back. I won't
say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye? Quiet like the ocean, with a rumble running deep. This is how I see you, when you hide your feels from me. Why you heavy-hearted? Cut the silence, talk to me. Release your mind, get what you need. Easily, we've been falling in disbelief. I think I'm ready for another try, but this feels like the last time. So why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. Why did you say goodbye? It's better to say goodbye. So why did you say goodbye?
Чё там, жігіттер, қыздар, всем салам алейкум, Дука на связи. Поставимыз, потихонечку начинаем. Чё, қазақша стрим жалғасамыз ба? Жалғасамыз по-любому. Так, ждем 3 топ-1. Так, давайте поздороваемся со всеми. Так, Рира. Салам алейкум, Хаба, Хабиев. Так, Фанканина Пауэр. Мейер. Титан на каком месте курсе тем? Так, Титан сегодня порвут. Порву этот код, по идее, да, по-любому. Так, ассаламу алейкум, Ильяс, алейкум ассалам, Казах, салам, салам, Шерхан, салам алейкум. Чё там? Теaq, давай таблицу посмотрим резко. Вот она, таблица. Дальше не буду показывать, топ-8 покажу. Напишите, ё-моё, напишите. Обязательно. Слышно как? Нормально, картинка нормально, мабара. Так. Ага, бастап кеттанылар. Так. Ну, примерно шмин тему сосын бастаймыз. Бірінші катка бүгін Мирамардан бастайды. По идее. Расписание қараймын қазір. Так. Все от души в душу. Где? Так, что у нас сегодня по расписанию? Бүгінге, расписание, что-то курмитром. А где я вчера смотрел? Мне. Так. Ну нифигово. Короче, все 3 недели последнюю катку смотреть мы не будем. Титаны все первые 4 карты играют, там просто карта меняется. Разные будут. Бүгін Miramar бастайды, екінші Sanhok, сосын Miramar и төртінші Erangel болады. Бір Erangel бүгін. 2 Miramar, 1 Sanhok. Сосын соңғысын қарамаймыз. Ойнамайды олар. Титандар группа Ада. Так. Что там, TeamSpeak уже посмотрели? Корнерма. Топ-1 TeamSpeak. Где Teaq забрал. Они выложили. Не успел посмотреть. Обязательно посмотрим. Так. На курсе Teaq.
Which we know counts towards a starting point moving into the finals.
Так, на формат, короче. Шапта ойнайды. Аптада без бүгін екінші и ертең, короче, выходной. Сосын тағы да 3 күн ойнайды. Бұл бірінші апта.
And that is going to come down to the consistency that they show within these next 3 phases. And honestly, just the fantastic performances that we saw yesterday, I can already tell you the bar has been set so high.
И сосын 3 күн финал
so there
болады.
is quite a few expectations coming into today, and of course, just to help explain all the
15 күн
changes
лига,
that we'll be
короче,
hopping
и
into
3
a
күн
quick video
финал
just to help
болады. Финалға топ
break it
16
down a little bit
шығады.
easier. Okay, wait, sorry, we're not having the video today, so we'll just have to do it manually.
Axzcer
as the
эмоции,
old
да.
fashioned way.
Тема,
Just
да?
explain our way through it.
Ну, я
As we
отрывок
saw on the
посмотрел,
graphic,
имеется
we
в виду
have
этот.
teams now, instead of sitting
Телеграм
together, they're gonna be playing
выкладывал
5
там.
days of play
Teaq
across the
выложил.
board. At the end
Короче,
of the
где
week,
топ-1 забрал он.
top
С хаешки вот этого
teams
предпоследнего
from
забрал и
top
последнего.
are gonna be
Для
participating in
прикола
this
же
next round
забрал.
match, which is gonna be all the way over on towards
Так,
Livic.
ребят, сейчас я
Now,
быстро
that is gonna
открою
help
себе.
to try and
Кое-что.
just figure out where these teams find themselves, and the teams sitting at the top of the leaderboard will get the most bonus points, obviously, right? So teams sitting in the pole
Чтоб
position
не
will be awarded
шуршать.
20 points.
Подготовился я. Будем болеть сегодня. Ну, я с Тиком вчера пообщался. Так, они говорят, можно напрямую на ПМГЦ выйти здесь, если 1600 ПТС набрать. Ну, это тяжко будет, конечно, но можно. Получается, все очки будут получать из лиги, они
as we were talking
зарабатывают
about the trades, you
очки.
can take a look at those
Потом,
calendar dates just
возможно,
to remind everyone watching at home what
О,
they can
календарь,
prepare
вот
for.
у меня.
And of course, just to get a handle
Бірақ
on
там
the
ішінде
days,
бес
because as
күн.
we know, there is that week-long break right
Бүгін
at the halfway
екіншісі,
marker of the
сосын бір
tournament. So
выходной,
make sure that
сосын
you
үш
keep
күн.
those dates
Сосын тағы да бір
in
выходной,
mind and check.
екі
You don't
күн,
come back that
выходной,
week and
үш күн.
expecting some Pmpl Africa
Сосын бір
action
апта
only to be very sadly disappointed. So make
ойнамайды
sure you
и
got those dates locked down. But it's very interesting the way that we're going to be running this
Еще
format
14
alongside this
yeah.
calendar, DK. Again,
Поставить.
I'm very, very interested to see, potentially the
Интересно.
changes we might see from week 2 to week 3. But we'll have to wait a little bit longer as we're
Ну, я
only
тоже
on day number
посчитал,
2.
1600 много, это надо закатку где-то. Ой, закатку. А, да, закатку. За каждую катку 20 ПТС надо набирать. Teaq так написал. Получается, төрт катка болса. О, Мирон, валейкум ассалам. Нормально, нормально. Залетел здесь.
So the team that is able to sit at the top will then again pick up those additional 20 points. So I'm expecting a lot of hard work to come through, and we saw that being pretty evident yesterday, as we've already mentioned. We did see the players there from
От души, Мирон,
PSG,
от души.
as well as
Рахмет,
Slime
брат.
4KT, just going absolutely crazy. I mean, Slime there was super aggressive for a big chunk of yesterday, right? And this is a new change, a very dynamic shift coming through from them. And I gotta say, I'm actually loving it quite a bit, because that's the kind of performance we've been wanting to see come from a team like Slime for the longest time. And now they're stepping up, they're delivering on that front, and they're really starting to utilize
Что там,
the
их погромче
experience and the
поставить?
information that
Или
they've been able
нормально?
to garner so far.
Yeah, they started off a little bit quiet, and we really were focusing quite a bit on Titan Gaming, but they massively
Алга
came through
Титан.
right up until the
Айрат,
end. And as
Айрат,
you said, for a good portion of
по-любому
yesterday, they made
камбэкать
a
надо.
showing. But again, DK, we also have to talk about why we are all
Ну,
here and
1600,
what
блин,
these teams are.
много все равно.
Yep, and it's going to be
Это
a quick
очень
look at
тяжело
our
будет
prize
сделать.
pool to see what is at stake aside from the slots
Так, это
we
League
put
Stage.
into
Причем
the
Орнга.
EA Championship a little
А,
bit
тут,
later on as well, but
короче, за участие 2500 дают.
in the league stage,
MVP.
each of them will be walking
Штука
away with a
баксов
little bit
примерно
in the
без
bank,
сквот.
right?
Титановат,
$2,500
либо панчер,
being
либо
awarded
тик.
for all our participating teams.
Сосын
Our
винер
grand
винер
prize
чикен
pool
динер
sitting at
дегенге
$150,000.
45 мың бұл
That is
финалда
absolutely
бір каткаға
a beautiful increase from what we
бір
saw in
победаға
the
получается
previous season. But
$1000
this time around,
береді.
we can see
Так,
our
total
finals
prize pool
also having some
150 мың
really
доллар.
decent value to it, right?
Так,
First
финалда,
place,
финалда
$10,000,
бірінші орын
second,
10 мың,
walking away
екінші
with 6.5, and third place being
Алты,
awarded $5,000.
үшінші
So there's
5,
quite a bit
төртінші
to be,
4,
you know, to
короче
be
так,
had here as
до
the teams will have
уменьшения.
some really good opportunities to just try and, solidify that
Да-да-да, Ильяс мен де. Мен
Absolutely,
вафли
of
алдым,
course, we're gonna
яшкина
award those
деген
MVPs
вафли.
that extra
Вареные.
$1,000. So all of the teams not only going to be gunning to perform at
Отырмын
the
енді.
best possible level of team, but also as individuals, and see if they can get that extra bit of kaching at the end.
Рахмет
So
стрим
ultimately,
жасап
DK, a
отырғанына.
lot to play for,
Ирико,
and a lot of obstacles that these
от
teams
души
have to deal
рахмет
with in terms
сендерге
of not
за
only
то,
the
что
format
приходите,
change, but
поддерживаете.
also the way in which the competition has shaped up a little bit. We mentioned yesterday we had a few new faces, a few old but new faces, new but old faces, quite a few changes coming through, and ultimately we were blown away
Давайте,
by
жігіттер,
some of the
қыздар,
new
лайк
teams
басайық,
stepping into
былай.
the roster yesterday.
Қолдап
Yep,
жіберіңдер.
very exciting day, and of course, we are going to be taking a quick look at our point system as well, just to remind the viewers what to expect.
Финалға шығу үшін топ 16 керек мына лигада. Но топ 16 ол вообще фигня титандарға. Олар по-любому бірінші орынға ойнайды. Лигада примерно бәрі жақсы болса топ 1-мен шығады финалға. Сосын финалда тоже топ 1-ға ойнайды, по-любому топ 1-ге. Печенье в клеточку, да-да-да. Мне нравится вообще, кайфовые вафли.
Yeah, unfortunately, on both sides, you don't really want to be the teams that have to take those bubbles to your scoreboard.
И
so
гориллу
there's always
взял
going
себе.
to have to be those initial sacrifices.
Ночью
Some of the
гориллу
teams
пил.
can make up for that with their elimination points. We saw quite a few teams placing a heavy focus
Давайте,
on
ребят,
that
всем, кто
aggressive energy
кушает,
and bringing in some fantastic
ас болсын,
engagements to grant them,
приятного
those
аппетита.
elimination points before they may or may not have been taken out early on. So that sort of leveled the
Просмотру
scoreboard,
готов.
and hopefully we'll see that balance coming through today as well.
Клинфит жоқ,
Speaking about the
жалко.
teams, let's take a look and see what our bracket is, right? How these teams have been divided up. As you can see,
Так,
our
мне
group A is on that
Заклер группа
left-hand
А,
side, and we make it all the way
получается.
through towards group E, which is on that far right-hand side.
Бірінші
Now
төрт
saying
ойында
how
ойнайды,
yes,
сосын
but,
соңғысын
sometimes
өткізеді.
I just like to read the letters that we have.
Тағы да кеше сұрадым,
But
Ливик,
I mean, this is also something to take into consideration, right? That this is
ана
the
лига
group
біткен соң болады,
spread
бір Ливик.
only for this week.
Бір ғана
Once we
Ливик
get into
болады.
the next week, it's going to be entirely different shuffle. And speaking about shuffles, we also
Финалдан
have
мирға
matches
емес,
that we saw as well.
финалдан,
Speaking about
получается,
the
региональный финалға
end of
кіреді.
yesterday,
Региональный финалда ана Арабиядан ойнайды 10 команда, им Африкадан 6
But as
команда.
you said, right, a few new faces,
Сол
one
жақтан
of those,
уже
for instance,
мирға
are the
шыға алады.
Titans that we saw just really popping off yesterday, going absolutely crazy. But then we also saw VST Gaming stepping up with some very
Оны
strong
білмеймін, сұрап
performances against
көрем,
Lag,
по
also
идее.
doing some really big
Финалды,
things.
короче,
We saw
бәрін
Big
жеңсе
Wake also
өтеді.
coming in with consistent play.
Региональныйдан шыға алады.
They didn't really
Региональныйдан.
necessarily have the craziest day, but what I'm liking is the fact that it has been consistent, right? We are yet to see
О,
a
Дида,
strong
натуре,
performance come
ничего
through from the
себе,
players of
какие
late.
люди в
One of
Голливуде.
our other new teams
Салам,
to
қалай
this
стрима
season.
басқа қандай жұмыс істеп жүрсің?
Again, right, today is going to be that
Істемеймін
opportunity
басқа
for a
жұмыс.
team like, for instance,
Стрим ғана.
Legends of War to step up and just show us what it is that they've been hiding from us.
Ликвидатор.
So I'm really
Тонкие
excited to
шутки,
see
да,
what the
пошли.
team is gonna be bringing out as they are making their way through today's
Алейкум
stage.
ассалам,
I also feel
сабскрайбер.
like the teams are relatively balanced in terms of
Я
the
шанс
team
бар, по
performance that we
идее.
saw yesterday.
Нормальный
I mean,
шанс.
if you go through groups A to right up until E, you have at least one or two teams that made some stunning performances yesterday as we move on through. I mean, Titans within Group A, we've got VST and Lag within Group B, we've got 1 million sitting in Group D, Slime for KT and C, and all of those teams, as we continue, they've had fantastic performances
Awesome.
yesterday. So now it's up to the rest of the teams in those groups to, well,
Примерно
step
2
it up
минут
as well
қалды.
and hopefully
Сосын
bring that
бастайды.
performance in today. As you mentioned, we've got quite a few teams that are going to be put under the microscope.
Yeah, speaking about microscopes, right, we're going to bring them out right now as we head over into our overall standings.
Федерал, салам,
What
салам.
the teams did yesterday and what
Ну,
we could
таблица.
potentially be expecting from them moving through today's matches. One
Жиырма
million
үш
in the
ПТС.
match before brought in a really
Кеше
aggressive start.
4
Bringing
ойнап,
in
получается,
Super and Chicken Dinners, and both of those were had
бірінші
over
орында
on
болды.
Erangel.
Сосын
So
соңғысын
yesterday we had
өткізіп,
2 Erangels,
3
2
команда
Miramars,
сразу.
and 1 Sanhok. That is not the case today. So I'm looking to
47
see how
топқа.
those results are going to be
Бірінші,
changing
екінші,
on
үшінші
through. As
орында.
mentioned also,
Алып кетті.
VST Gaming.
По идее, не
brings
ожидал,
very,
что
very
такая
consistent
конкуренция
performance.
будет,
I think
по
the
идее.
aggression
Ну,
is
Слайм
actually
точно
shown
знал
by
то,
a
что
lot
хорошо
of
играть
teams,
будут.
right?
Слайм.
35
Вот
eliminations,
ВСТ Гейминг 1 миллион,
26, 25.
білмеймін вообще
Those are
қайдан
really
шыққан.
substantial numbers
Ну,
to have.
нормально ойнап
But that
кетеді.
is also going to now present an opportunity
Ну, 1 миллион
for
кеше
teams
2 топ алып
not
кетті.
only positioned a little
Титан
bit
біреу.
further down on
И
this
Сол
first page,
eSports деген.
but also the teams positioned on the second page. Now to look to step it up and close those gaps. And as we can see, looking at the lower end there of the leaderboard, it's going to be the players from Arab Golden,
Да,
Mad
правильно
Dog
говоришь,
Darkness,
сабскрайбер.
and Team Lag.
Я
They
люблю
really
свое
have
дело.
to put in quite a bit of effort to improve their standings today.
Absolutely, and we mentioned this, you know, for some of these teams, it's not quite the performance we used to. I mean, I'm taking a look at virtual gaming, right? Picking up those 17 eliminations, but only 2 placement points. It's a very weird combination to see virtual gaming not keeping that consistency and that balance in terms of the
Ну, как я
points that
понял,
they
у
are
них задача в
collecting. And I
катке
mean, then you
20
find Arab
ПТС
Golden and
набирать
it's
у
the exact
Титана,
swap around, right? Big focus
чтобы
on
попытаться
placement,
сразу
not
напрямую
as
ПМГЦ взять.
heavy of a focus
Инвайт.
there on the eliminations. So hopefully the teams
И
can
плюс
just
им
tighten
надо
it up a little bit more today and, you know, catch up where they
топ-1
might be
забирать
falling
по
short,
итогу
so
каждой
they can
недели,
ensure that they pick
чтобы
up as many
дополнительный
points as possible, because especially
ПТС
you
зарабатывать.
don't want to fall behind at any point in time. As you mentioned, every single day counts and every opportunity leads you that much closer into getting those bonus points for the finals.
Yeah, there's
Басяня,
gonna be a lot of
привет,
pressure
привет.
to come on through, and I mean today's gonna be
Добро
that
пожаловать.
day to see
Понемножечку,
as we
помаленечку,
we are gonna be
по копеечке, по зернышку, по
Надеюсь, это
семечку.
видно.
Кала 1 литр Саган.
Miramar maps today. Map number 1,
Надеюсь,
map number
этого
3,
не
and
видно.
map number 5. And we are going to be just cramming a little bit of Erangel and Sanhok into
По идее, нельзя
to
это.
make sure that it doesn't get
называется,
too
да,
dry,
на-
right? You just want to give the teams a bit of an opportunity
Кола
to just,
пролитр
you
саған.
know,
От души дейді, от
remember
души.
that there are still other maps
Ахмет,
that
брат,
we will
за-
have to
за
keep
донат.
those potential plays into consideration. But today is definitely going to be a day for the teams that are
Анкаратик был
exceptionally,
вчера от
that
комментаторов.
prefer
Анкаратик,
Miramar
Анкаратик.
above others
Да-да-да.
to
Так.
now capitalize on the opportunity that they are being presented with. So
Правда,
as I said,
что
we are gonna be seeing a
22-23
little bit of that Sanhok and
добавят
Erangel
Pmpl
addition
Центральная
coming
Азия?
through there, of
Возможно.
course.
Экзо,
Starting the day
возможно.
off, we are gonna be having groups A, B,
Хорошо,
C,
Басяня.
D.
Спасибо. Как ты?
Yeah, we mentioned this a little bit.
Если
also
Центральную
as
Азию
well,
сделают,
because
вообще
it's
кайф
such
будет.
a Miramar heavy focused day. We are definitely looking at teams such
Будем,
as,
получается,
Titan
Казахстан,
Gaming,
Кыргызстан,
Leaders
Узбекистан
Esports,
играть.
to see
Еще
what
кто-то, возможно.
performances they might be bringing in, because they were our two teams to take the winner chicken dinners from
Если
yesterday's
сделают.
Miramar game. So we're expecting a similar performance, but it could also be the exact turnaround. It could be the target on their backs.
Ну,
They are
должны,
lying
мне
in wait,
кажется.
and the teams now stepping it up and showcasing hopefully the better performances that they would have wanted to yesterday.
Все, Кит,
Well,
давайте, ребят.
Сатлик.
Нашим удачи. Вам приятного просмотра. Погнали.
1 million dropped a 32 pointer in that very first match. But today I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out, as it is Miramar heavy. Leaders Esports and Titan Gaming, they were showing quite a bit of a dominating performance in Miramar yesterday. Now, today's going to be the opportunity for them to try and build on that momentum and potentially try and push it as far as they can manage it. So I think this is going to be...
Комментатор только понял, что Титаны будут Эжу наваливать.
And it does seem like we are coming through from at least that west
Давай,
side of
15
the
кило,
zone, but
говоришь, да?
it's also a relatively southern flight path for the time
Так.
being.
Ну, я тоже думаю 15, наверное. Тоже в районе 15.
Right, so as you can see,
Чё ты
we do
зависла?
have a little bit of hang time coming through there. A very slow yet
Это у
steady
них,
approach trying to get
если
down
чё.
on towards that map. Now what we're going to be looking at, especially moving into this very first match,
Ну, примерно сабскрайбер, да, так и будет.
As we already had it, the flight path was a little bit further down towards
Ну,
that
кто в
southern
Центральную
edge.
Азию
Teams
входит?
now really have to put a lot of effort in, depending of course on where that first initial zone is going to be going, to get themselves situated into that playable area.
Absolutely, and again, as you mentioned,
Ничего не
I mean, the
показывают.
focus on Titan
Это-
and Leaders. Titan running away with that 28 points a game,
Ники,
Leaders running
ничего.
away with
А,
that
вот.
22 points a game. So they also had a pretty good performance.
Топ-2 минимум от
Not
наших.
as
Ну,
explosive
на
as
зону
the
надо
start, not
посмотреть.
quite as explosive as the start as what we saw with 1 million
Пока
esports,
наших
who
не
both
видно.
started
Разлетка
and
вроде
ended the day
под
with a
спот была
fantastic
хорошая.
performance, which is why
На
they find
Вальдемар.
themselves there on the first spot. But moving
Зона,
into
если
this
слева
game,
будет, вообще
yeah,
ништяк будет.
I really am waiting to see
Титаны
what
на
Super
Мирамаре
Young Stars and Desert Flame Esports will be
хорошо
bringing to the
отыгрывают
picture. And
эту
as I say that, I see that in
нижнюю,
the elimination
южную,
pool.
левую
Yes, I
зону.
think I should just stop talking. Ah.
Yeah.
Домашних.
Yeah.
Там много
I mean,
киллов делают
Miramar is
они.
still very fresh in the minds of the players, at least coming through from Zero Tolerance, right? We know that they actually picked up the winner chicken dinner, but they got a little bit overpowered, right, by the performance coming through from Leaders Esports, who were able to lock in those 10 eliminations. But surprisingly, even though Zero Tolerance had picked up the winner chicken dinner, they were still able to find 6 eliminations, right? But now this is going to be the opportunity to show how they can actually look to improve that. And I'm also
А,
waiting to
два
see what
топ-1
is
от
gonna
наших.
come
Но сегодня
from
мирчики, по идее,
Leaders, but, I
должны.
mean, looking at Legends of War and
Вчера
Super
же видно
Young
было, как
Stars,
мирчики хорошо играют
be
наши.
quite an exciting start, as there could be a little bit of an altercation now in the early stages of this match.
Oh, just sniffing around, looking around
Ой-ой-ой,
the
двоих
corners,
чуть
and
не
bam, there is
вырубил.
an immediate surprise, but at least for the time being, Super Young Stars will be
Нормально.
containing the action. And to find 1 million now with a knock almost immediately, I'm wondering if Lag is looking for a
Oh,
little bit of
1
revenge
million.
from yesterday.
Ooh,
В ноке.
maybe it could be, but you know,
Это
I
хорошо
like
для
this little
наших.
bit of a hard drop action coming through here from the teams. And 1
Кто у
million
нас
definitely
еще?
gonna be put to the test. We know
Слаймы
Erangel is their map,
и
right? They are
ВСТ
absolute
впереди нас.
monsters there. But this is going to be the proving grounds to see whether or not they can continue with the efforts and bring that momentum through. And there's going to be some pretty high stakes at play
Наши
here.
на
But,
четвертой.
you know, we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out.
I mean,
А, ну это
absolutely.
с
In this point in
ПТКП
time,
говорит.
Team Lag, they found that
Что
initial
видите?
entry, and now they
Ну,
need to
Axzcer же
just
в КП
look
играл.
for
Тик
further
тоже.
information here. And of course, the same can be said here for 1 million, as they are scrambling to find an entryway back here. Potentially find a knock on
ящики,
towards
детка,
Lag or an
всё.
entryway into the building. You can see Marshall already doing that scouting job, but unfortunately will be
Даже
punished for it.
да. Ну, я с Тиком вчера общался, они говорят, мы все споты отбили. Вот какие они сейчас лутают, они все отбивали.
Of course, we do have our updated leaderboard happening right at the top of the screen. As you can see, Team Lag now sitting on 13 points. They've not yet locked in any of those eliminations, but that could change very, very soon, as it is maybe going to be Marshall. It does seem like Marshall is just trying to gather a little
Давайте
bit
Маршала
of
добирайте,
additional
нормально будет.
information. But this is you know, something that
Sanhok
in
самый,
my
блин,
opinion, is
тяжелый,
very
по
much
идее.
a 1 million-ish kind of way to play it, right?
Если зона
Even
будет
though
вот
they
как
play
вчера
it
на
well,
Сенке, вот
that's
это
not
вообще
the end of the
печаль,
road. They're
беда.
gonna try and see what
Надо
information
что-то
they can
другое
find
придумывать.
from that, and now look to capitalize and utilize that to their favor. As we can see, a little bit of a push coming through here from Venom, taking
Да
aim
не
on
закроют
towards
1 миллион сейчас
Fantasy.
их.
Oh, and this is gonna be a 3-1 push. And unfortunately, Fantasy is the one to fall, but the rest of the team from Lag, and we're looking now, just trying to patch up this position. Up they come, rushing straight to the fight. Let's see whether or not they'll be able to pull this one through. 89
Сколько у
kills
них
now,
уже
just
1
getting
миллион?
traded down, and Lazy Boy, a super aggressive player.
2
From the
кило.
side of 1 million,
А, вот.
just comes strafing
Всё,
around
3.
the corner. And 1 million now already sitting on 3 eliminations there.
Печально,
I
печально.
mean, that is just once again a textbook finish.
Набирает ПТСки.
Making sure that that
4
pincer
ПТС.
maneuver was an availability there for them, and just to work together to take out their opponents bit by bit by bit. And even though we had that surprising jump into the action from Lag, driving in with the vehicles, trying to recover the situation as quickly as they possibly could.
Они хорошо
1
знают
million
это
just
место.
so
Да.
quick
Да,
on
им
the
вообще
scene, and they
титаном
were able
любой
to
спот
manage
можно
that
забирать, по
beautifully.
сути.
And hey, here we can focus here
Удобные.
on
Они
Blackjack
4 в
Esports
4
and
никому
Soul
вообще
as
не
well,
проиграет
another
файт.
team that has at least started off with an elimination here and there.
Ну здесь,
Yeah,
я
I
имею
mean,
в виду на
Blackjack was a
Африке.
team yesterday that we were hoping to see more come from, right? But they
А
started
там
to
в СНГ
find that
уже
momentum as we
чуть-чуть
progressed
есть
into those later stages
конкуренция.
of the day. Now today, again, right? I at least have that expectation. We're looking to see what it is that Blackjack's going to come through. We know that they are a super capable team. They've shown their capabilities in
А кто
previous
нам
seasons.
надоел? Кто
But
выиграет?
we are yet to see them now look to
Сейчас
kind of
знаем, как берет.
replicate this effort and just show that they are capable of
Супервик жоқ.
asserting
Супервик
their
болмайды, чисто
dominance
лига
on a
болады.
map like Miramar.
Absolutely, and I mean,
Лиганың
so far in
соңында
terms of what we're
топ
talking about
16,
on the
короче,
map,
финалға шығады.
I saw quite a bit of a well-rounded spread, I would say, against with some of most of the teams. I mean, I'm still seeing Slime for KT relatively split up, and if you take a look here at Super Young Stars, still quite south in terms of their rotations currently, and obviously with the one player down, they're keeping it, you know, pretty safe. They're just trying to understand what's happening here with Legends of War as well. We've now made that rotation up a little bit more. But in the situation here for both of them, already a player down, and these both of these teams have quite a bit of pressure today in terms of just bringing that performance back.
I mean, I can't really fault any of the teams having lost a player already. I mean, this is Pmpl as, you know.
Что-то Титана вообще показывать, да, не хотят сегодня? Вчера хотя бы чуть-чуть показывали в начале.
You know, having a player being lost here and there, I think it's pretty much the norm. As we can see, quite a few teams. We got 1 million, the Super Young Stars, Zero Tolerance, and Legends, all down to only 3 hopefuls. But
Не показался ли
there's
у вас,
quite a
Кира
good play
сказал?
to be had here, right? That zone sitting all the way up in towards that northwestern region. Also, a big chunk of that being unplayable.
Я в
area,
чат
all the
писал
way
просто
up
там
towards that
ему,
very edge where the teams
типа,
can
ДК
now
сей
reach. I think this is the
Титан
kind of
Алга,
push that
что
we
он
wanna see
сказал,
from
типа,
these teams,
Титан
right?
Алга.
Because now they need to find a way to get themselves situated, but at the same time, not come running into a vulnerable kind of position.
Oh, absolutely, and that's
Будем
why
ждать,
we
когда
often
будешь
see
по
that one
палазе
split, you
комедить,
know,
да?
sending out that
Возможно,
scout, getting that
возможно.
information,
Алга.
absolutely vital, especially in, you know, a proving ground like PMPL Africa. You are playing against some incredibly high-skilled and high-caliber players, so you need to make sure that you take as safe of a pathing as you possibly can. Of course, 1 million esports here towards El Pozo, still very well
Что, зона
situated
вверх
and
лево,
much,
да?
you know,
Да.
unbothered for the
Так,
time being.
о, наши
They've got pretty much the
шикарно
entire
вообще себя
El Pozo to
чувствуют.
themselves for the time being until those
Нормально.
rotations move in a little
Топ-1.
bit more. But
Смело
it is
можно
Miramar.
брать.
It is a
Сейчас
little
зона
bit
дальше
deceiving in
налево,
terms of how
налево,
close these
наверх.
teams actually are.
Левее Эльпоза будет.
Yeah, well, let's see where they're going to be
Ну,
going.
по-хорошему,
As
если
the
так
zone is
будет,
gonna
вообще
be
ништяк будет. А
constricting
так,
on forward. I mean, I'm
непонятно
loving the
пока.
position coming through there from
Возможно,
Axzcer
это
alongside
зона
Sanhok.
домашних
But another
мэдбусов
point that draws my
между
attention is
Эльпоза и
the base
Пауэргридом.
from
Гора.
VST, right? Just
Возможно,
on the-
это
on
под
the
Эльпоза,
high
хайграунд.
ground south of
Нет,
Mountain
наверх
Level.
на
And
Кратофилдс
that could
уходит.
be quite a
Наверх
beautiful
надо прям
position
до
to hold,
Талова
especially
сразу
looking at the
на
number of
этот
teams we
играть.
have yet
Трейлер
to
парк.
rotate through from that southern edge. But also
Хедшоты
then,
вчера.
right, I want to
Файтер
see
2
the players from
хедшота.
Virtual Gaming step up. Our victors from the previous season. I
Teaq
wanna
вчера
see
9
that
киллов
return to
сделал,
glory.
сам
I wanna
лично.
see those names just
Он в
lighting up the
MVP в
feed.
гонке.
And hopefully that is exactly what they're going to be doing as the team now, the zone rather, constricts further on towards south. But already 1 million absolutely zone blessed with their position coming through up in towards Pozo. And Slime for KT really looking to get themselves situated. I'm liking this movement, this mobility coming through from them.
Yeah, and I mean they really
Начали
stepped up
закрывать
on
миллионов,
one of those
по-хорошему
last
было бы
Miramar
вообще
maps
ништяк.
yesterday with
Но
that
помимо
insane,
миллионов есть
insane
слайм,
animation right up until the end.
они
So,
тоже впереди. И
unfortunately, it just
ВСТ
fell
тоже
short to, I
впереди.
believe it was Leaders Esports, so hopefully this time they can tune up the
И
aggression
Солы
here and
догоняют.
Golden
Солы
will
вчера
sneak a
один
little bit of a
топ-1
scout there, but
забрали.
Pronto will stay silent.
Тоже что-то
Well,
могут,
it looks
значит.
like Sin has that information. That Pronto probably got spotted this time, so now it's that one-on-one.
Ой-ой-ой, на одном хп остался.
The opportunity to lock it in, but Sin is on fire, just
Нок.
absolutely aflame,
Это
trying to
ладно.
see what they can get going. But they do
Как он
find
не
quite a bit of
нокнулся?
damage on towards Pronto. Ooh, fortunately that res, that quick heal comes on in. And this could be the rush now as Bandit
Должны забрать Пронто, хорош.
The trades come in as well and they find the
Нормально.
knockdown,
И
goes
слаймы
Pronto.
одного
But we are
потеряли.
seeing the rest
1
of the
миллион
Slime
одного
team now also
потеряли.
looking to
Ну,
just
1
rush
миллион
up forward
4
and
килла
bring in a bit
сделали
of a
из
vengeance play
печального.
here.
Yeah, Arab Golden, unfortunately, in that situation for Pronto was just a little bit faster or a little bit closer to be able to get that, you know, cavalry in
Делай
position,
15
get
секунд,
the
как
backup
будто
there,
еще
and
больше.
make sure that the confirmation
Ну,
came
примерно
through
так,
as
да.
quickly as possible.
Чтоб
So now
качество
Slime for KT in a
не
situation in 3
ухудшалось,
on 4, where
дело
they
им
could
нужно.
potentially get a little bit of revenge, avenge their fallen comrade, and potentially pick up those eliminations.
Там
But for the
секунда в
time being,
секунду
Arab
по-любому
Golden
не будет.
might just choose at this point in time maybe just to rotate just for a little bit back and just to focus on some cover here because it's still early on. We're
Всё, может,
only in that phase 2 and the
догнать?
teams still have to move into position here. At this point in time, DK, we do
Скорее
have to talk about
всего.
Blackjack and Mad Knight who may have already found each other as well.
Yeah,
Отстаём.
this could be a pretty interesting performance coming in right here. Blackjack, of course, is going to be just utilizing the hard cover that we have up in towards his power grid position. Mad Knight, on the other hand, are going to be opting for a more of a, you know, outdoorsy approach. You can see Tyson just taking a quick breather alongside that concrete block, just like
Алейкум ассалам. Салам Итачи. Автонадам. Капец долго крутит. Все, догнали.
how it happens, as you can see Phoenix finding a bit of damage.
Ой-ой-ой, там псих в ноке. А, не ЗТС закрывает. Слева наверху. Не должны терять титаны. Поднимут.
Yeah, the defensive play that they're holding at this point in time does seem like they're ready for it, and they're also making sure that they have a potential
Должны
flank
поднять.
moving on around the compounds and potentially putting themselves in a better position. So Zane just holding that far left position there, waiting at the last possible warehouse, just making sure that they're not going to have any sort of surprises, if I could call it that, coming on through here from Mad Knight and potentially go for that sandwich.
Где, вон они сверху, смотри,
Oh,
гонят.
yes, and speaking about sandwiches, right, is
А
there's
чё
gonna
не
be a lot of
поднимают?
that to come through. As we can see, the
Там
congestion
4-2
upwards,
вроде. Только
we've
заехали
got a beautiful
поднимать.
clumper action coming in towards that eastern side. But now we
Они
can
2
see
нока
how
дали,
they're
одного
gonna be able
добрали,
to
один в ноке
rotate,
лежит.
through
Своего
this
надо поднять и
kind of,
двойку дожать.
you know,
И потом в
power
зону ехать надо.
possession, right? Because we got still the players there from Legends of War having to push up
Психа
from that
добрали,
bottom
еще и
area,
Axzcer
and that
нокнул.
could mean that they are potentially going to be rotating up into this direction as well. So whatever Mad Knight and Blackjack are going to be doing, they need
Печально.
to do it really quickly because they're
Еще
starting to
одна
run out of
потеря не
opportunities.
нужна.
You can see that blue zone is also now going to start closing up once again, and this will
Тик
just apply
панчер, давайте тащите
additional
джиги.
pressure onto the teams. But speaking of pressure, MG just you know, just in the beautiful ambush setup, they're finding the knock right down onto Tyson.
I mean, absolutely, just lying in wait for that opportunity, but now the push has to come on through. As we mentioned, Zane
Ребят,
trying to keep lock
кто
of
только
everything that
зашел,
was happening
всех
on the side,
приветствую.
has to push
От
on
души,
in
от
through
души
as
жизнь.
well.
Давайте
And
лайки
now Phoenix
прожмем.
Chrono Lost
Буду
right up
благодарен.
against Mad Knight,
Сильно,
looking for
очень
those
сильно.
finishes.
Давайте 200
Oh,
лайков сегодня
come on,
прожмем.
let's go, Lash.
Вчера
Looking to
150
see,
мы
can they find a few?
сделали.
Phoenix now trying to just to bring in a little bit of a breather
Сегодня
here.
давайте 200
Be the play
пробьем.
I'm loving the sneaky approach coming through from Wiscola, trying to wrap around, finds a great
Все,
opportunity,
Axzcer
and
подняли.
does indeed pick
Нормально.
up a trade. Now
Нормально,
Phoenix
втроем можно
retaliates,
играть.
gets the knock in. But look at MG coming in from the back end there.
Когда
Beautiful
Axzcer
handle
или
possession,
Псих
sneak
погибает,
out,
не
finds
критично, по
ammo
идее.
win,
Они,
and
наоборот,
with
может
that,
быть, лучше
they
сыграют.
alleviate the
Потому что
entirety
Псих,
of
Axzcer,
the
они
Mad
это
Knight
по
squad.
карте,
I
ротации,
mean,
вот это
Blackjack
все.
did seem like they
Они
just had that
контролируют.
plan right
Если
off
кто-то
of
из
the
них
bat
умирает,
start.
они
Once again,
потом
playing those
остальных
outskirts
игроков всех
angles, making sure
контролируют,
they're keeping
карту
themselves
смотрят,
at a
вот это
distance.
все они
So I mean,
делают.
even if in worst case, if
Поэтому
their team
немного
would have gone
легче
down, at least
в
they would
этом
have been in a
плане.
better position to escape. But
Они
also
сразу
just in a
всех троих
prime
игроков
position
могут
to give that
мониторить и
long
говорить,
distance assistance
типа,
there.
ты
And of
это
course,
сделай,
Myth
ты
and
то сделай.
Darkness now finding themselves also in a little bit of a longer range engagement here. And for Darkness at this point in time, they unfortunately have to fight through Myth if they want to get into the zone.
Координируют,
Well,
короче.
I mean, they definitely have to fight and look to see whether or not they're going to be able to get it in. But look at this, though. Momin
А так, кто играет, тот знает, то, что тяжко. И играть там, стреляться, какие-то задачи выполнять, еще и карту смотреть там, выбирать, куда заехать, как заехать. Это все сразу тяжело очень делать.
Trying to find a bit of an approach to take here. I'm not quite sure where they're going to be trying to push towards, and we don't see a super aggressive rotation, but Iron is just going to be waiting on
Уже
that very
72,
edge.
потихонечку онлайн поднимается, ребята, от души за лайки. Открою секрет, тем больше лайков, тем больше онлайн.
And I mean, there is no other choice at this point in time, especially not with the extra ambush from Slime 4KT from an even higher rise.
Почти домашняя зона
Мэтбулсов.
Как я и говорил, зона угорнула, да? Наверх, наверх и потом хардшифт вниз. Тяжко, 13,44. Ну, слаймы погибать должны 100%. Они с этой горы не спустятся, их контролить будут. Откуда наши заедут? По-любому сейчас уже файт будет. Без файта не получится заехать.
Not quite sure what the situation is there. They are moving, so we know that they are not AFK.
Поза зоны нету вроде. Если не ошибаюсь, зачем заехали, не понял. Не понял, объехали.
You know, that is unfortunate. And speaking about unfortunate, look at that vehicle go.
Санхок, кстати, вчера хорошо играл. Очень много ПТС набрал команде своей.
But that's no easy task to pull off.
Блин, вот сабскрайбер тоже иногда думаю, сделали бы 5-й слот для тренера, чтобы он чисто карту смотрел. Так, Teaq нокнул, хорош, нокнул солов, добрал сразу, отлично. Ой, все, нормально, шикарная позиция. Шикарная позиция, сплит. Главное, чтобы не зажали с двух сторон. Так, панчер, хорош. Не прощает вообще. Главное, справа он появляется, видите, оранжевая, ой, оранжевая, говорю, коричневая метка на карте видно. Главное, чтобы они не заехали. Так, давай, Teaq, высадку. Нереальную, читерскую. Да, в ЛГ заехали. Но им в ЛГ не дадут играть. Им придется сейчас на Титанов выходить. И самое главное, чтобы параллельно не вышли на Титанов эти солы. С двух сторон зажмут, тяжко будет.
Absolutely massive spray downs what you saw yesterday coming through here from Tyson Gaming. But once again,
идея, по идее, на миллион, если честно, тренеров.
Interesting returns that we're going to need to see from the second page of those scoreboard onwards, such as super young stars and virtual gaming as well. I want to see a higher focus here on the placements, already finding themselves at least in the top 11 squad, so hopefully they can carry that forward. They haven't been too crazy active in terms of eliminations, and they need to be careful because Nossa is scoping out there towards the blue juice, looking for any possible stragglers here, but hopefully they can move on through in safety.
Вот эти челы как живут, вообще непонятно. Айер. Кто это Айер?
Currently they're sitting all the way in that 18th position, and they were one of those teams that I said that we need to see a little bit more effort come through for today. So if they're able to just utilize this position and assert themselves through it, I think it could be quite a place to be at, but of course that is all going to be determined on what this next zone shift has in store for us. If it moves up north,
да, налево должна зона уходить. Все, зона есть, хорошо. Верх их контролить, полностью верх контролить надо. Вот эти АР, они по-любому в сторону Титанов пойдут, они дальше в зону, вот в сторону фиолетовых никак не могут играть. Там их контролят. Сплетануться надо. Все, заезжает потихонечку. Но им придется, здесь другого выбора нет у аэров. Титанам нужно их сейчас принимать. Главное, чтобы еще третий не заехали сразу сверху. Тогда тяжело будет Титанам. А так могут поддержать, поконтролить.
So a little bit of pressure coming through. No
Ну,
stress
блин,
on them
опасно.
there whatsoever.
Очень
But they
опасно.
now need
Там
to
еще
try and
зеленый
prioritize those
поджимается.
positions, right? They need to decide where they're going to
Это
focus
1
their
миллион
efforts
вроде,
towards.
да?
Is it going to be at the potential threat coming through here from one round, rather sneaking up from that southern edge, or are they going to put all their efforts on, you know, trying to halt the advances coming through
Нокаться
from 1
нельзя,
million?
вообще никак
Because once
нельзя.
1 million
Самим
gets
надо
that
нок
momentum
оформлять.
going, they become quite a problematic force to contend
Хорош,
with.
Teaq, отлично.
mentioned
Еще
momentum.
второго
As soon as you
продамажили
said that the
очень сильно.
eliminations were
Можно
balanced, 1 million
дожимать,
just started
дожимать.
taking hits out
Так,
of myth, out of,
хаешечка.
you know, the
Teaq,
Arab Golden
нет,
team,
передумал.
and now they're sitting on those
Добрал,
8
отлично, плюс
eliminations in a matter of
ПТС.
seconds, and Titan Gaming might
Блин,
already be looking to take out
зеленых
1 round
контролить.
here.
Давай, Teaq, ты
Yeah,
здесь
and
Солянову
this is
эту
now the
четверку
opportunity
закрывай.
for
Панчер
Titans
Axzcer
to
пусть 1 миллион
begin
закрывает.
the aggression that they had yesterday. I'm pretty sure that they're going to be locking it in once again, but it's going to be Puncher to take a few hits as Knight comes through with a few of those very devastating blows. But
1
both teams
миллион,
now just
блин, не в тему
utilizing the
вообще.
ridge lines, but this is actually going to be
Приехали.
providing an opportunity for 1 million to get themselves situated
О,
much,
смотри,
much
что делают. Они
closer.
оттягиваются в спину, сейчас будут выходить к 1 миллион. Ой, Axzcer на ходу вылетел. Сразу с добором отлетел, блин. Еще и панчер нокнулся, ё-моё. Давай, Teaq, тащи.
Yeah, we can't really afford, you know, mistakes
По-братски
in the top
тащи,
8
Teaq.
teams of the first map of the
Ну,
day.
блин, 1
And now
миллион
1
они
million,
более
I mean, they've
уверенно
smelled the
играют.
blood, they're
Они
heading
что-то
on 3
умеют,
here, full
что-то
dispersion
могут.
right up against Titan
Да, Teaq,
Gaming.
клатч.
Ooh, but here we go, right? This could be
Yeah.
the push now to see who's going to be
Топ-8.
able to lock it in. And it is going to be
Топ-8,
none
сколько?
other than
4 кило, да?
to do
8 кило.
exactly that, picking up 2
Ну, блин,
eliminations
тяжко.
right then and
С двух
there.
сторон их
Psix
дергали.
now
И вот
still
эти
riding
1 раунд,
high on the elevated
и 1
position.
миллион.
But Super Young Stars still in a very favorable spot, right? They can still just utilize this additional hard cover that they have and apply that pressure as they are doing right now.
И по 1
right
миллион,
onto the
походу,
base
инфы
there
прям
from
точно
Virtual
не
Gaming
было
and
из-за этого.
potentially even Blackjack.
Блин, зона, смотрите какая. Закрыли бы они вот этих 1 раунд. Топчик можно было бы забрать.
VST now in a little bit of a split up position here, you know, snuck in between Slime 4KT and busy fighting it out, just trying to get a pathing into the zone. But the longer that they spend here, the
Да
more
не,
time that they
давай
get away to
доллары
1
блин.
million to hold that gate closed, because right
Кто
after
я,
they
кто
finish this
они?
engagement, they have to run into potentially either
Они
Virtual Gaming or
комментаторов
1
не
million
слушают?
or Super Young Stars to get themselves into the zone.
Не решает
I mean, they can
комментаторы.
pretty much take their pick as to who they want to
Связи,
potentially
шмязи
give
тоже
their
не канает.
points to, right? But now it's
Гвозди
gonna be
рулет.
still a little bit of a contentious play
Ну,
coming from
финансовые,
VST
много
and
факторов,
Major from
которые
Slime,
играют.
who are yet to find that
Там.
safe rotation path all the way back towards
По
the zone.
финансам,
As you
как,
can see, of course,
допустим,
the base
арабский,
from
да,
Blackjack also now being
регион
reduced down
отдельно
to
сделали.
one hopeful. But
Потому
look
что у
at
них
this phase
донатеры
coming
все
through from
из-за
Nova
этого.
as they connect on through, but up comes a quick response
Где
from
выгодно,
Ainsley,
короче, делать
and that is gonna stop them
отдельный
right in their
регион, там
tracks, but the
сделают.
action will
Где
continue as
невыгодно,
1 million also comes in
посмотрим.
with their own contribution to the carnage. It's a boot
Но
now
Центральную
moving up
Азию,
into the
блин,
elevation, but
скорее
gets
всего, мне
taken
кажется,
right on
почему-то
down.
сделают.
And now it is up to Fivo to see whether or not they can bring in or potentially even pull anything through at this point.
Oh, DK, this is the winning condition right now for 1 million esports. They find themselves in a prime position to take a piece of any and
716
every single
damage,
team,
Teaq.
trying to make that rotation in from the
Teaq в
northeastern
ударе.
side of the zone. So that is VST, that is Slime 4KT that are right in the crosshairs of 1 million esports.
Перекур, пацанам,
Yeah,
ну,
definitely
отдохнуть
in
сейчас
the
чуть-чуть.
crutches, but also now speaking
Да,
about
эти
that,
1
it is
миллион,
gonna
смотри,
be
15
VST
киллов
get
сделали
Vincent
уже.
from many directions. We
Честно,
didn't
не
see Slime
ожидал,
trying to
что
make
в
a little play
Африке
there, but
есть команды,
unfortunately,
которые вот так
they
вот
weren't
будут
able to
хорошо играть.
survive the aggression, and now it's up to Zuxi. Oh, finds a
1 миллион
beautiful
для
spray
меня
onto
вот
Watsenge.
открытие.
1 down, 2 more to go, and this could be that opportunity, but Venom
Вот Сенкай
is gonna be
точно,
laying the
он вчера
defenses
очень
on
хорошо
so
играл.
thick, now already on 15 eliminations. What
Так,
on earth going
Лазибой,
on?
Вена по
I
5
said the
киллов
winning
сделали.
conditions in play right now for 1 million esports, and now they head into this
Охренительно.
final zone. Hopefully with their final three, they
Нормально.
should be able to get that res pop off.
Нормально.
So in terms of numbers, they're looking at Super Young
Ну, я
Stars
пост
and 1 round as
написал
their
в этом,
equal
в телеге
competitors
вчера.
here. Of course, Virtual
Там
Gaming
с
still in this as well
результатами.
with 2.
На самом деле
in
так
terms of
интереснее даже.
positioning,
Я думал, сейчас
Again,
титаны
I'm
будут
leaning
просто
towards
ногами
1
всех
round or leaning
выносить
towards
вперед.
1 million. Super
А
Young
тут,
Stars, they have
смотрите,
their work cut out for them.
конкуренция есть.
Yeah, we're gonna have some one-on-one action
Не
up on
прям
that
так
ridge
легко
line.
играть,
But I'm
оказывается,
glad to see that
титаном.
Virtual Gaming also trying to make a bit of a push, right? They want to get themselves included up on that ridge line.
Интрига,
Because
бар,
once the
интрига.
zone shifts, it's gonna
Интересно
be
смотреть.
a downhill battle from that
Нагонять
point on.
придется теперь,
So I'm a
смотрите,
little
сколько,
bit worried
23
about
ПТС
this
было от
Super
первого
Young
места
Stars
отставания.
now trying to
Сейчас
cover
1
that
миллион
additional
заберут
ground in
топ,
the zone
смотри,
and taking a
15
shift
киллов,
over
15
towards
уже
that
30,
north
плюс ПТС набирает. 60 ПТС будет разница. Ладно, вру, 50 где-то ПТС. После этой катки. Вот это сюрприз от африканцев. Так, следующая карта Sanhok, если не ошибаюсь.
I mean, even as a solo, still such a threat at this point in time, and Gaddafi, not
Тоже
sure if they're
тяжко
shaking in
будет.
their boots, but they're definitely looking for an opportunity to get out of this one or potentially take Venom down. It's all going to come down to that timing opposition and if those nades are going to be reaching their targets. But right now, in terms of numbers, once again, Super Young Stars one round actually in a better position currently.
Yeah, they've got the numbers advantage, but they are going to be starting to take that altercation with the players there from the Super Young Stars. As we can see, both teams now trading it off as those knocks come in. And still the action is going to be continuing between 1 million and Virtual Gaming with the Super Young Stars now trying to make a run for it, want to get themselves up on the elevated positions here. But Eflex and Escanor going to be looking to put a stop to that as we've got them perched up high. It is going to be those utilities to get sent on out, but it's not reaching all the way up. Nossa now in a spot of bother here, trying to get that raise in, but doesn't get spotted out. Up comes Eflex, and down they go. The final 3 teams now left to fight it out. It is going to be a very favorable push coming through now from 1 round. Still 3 players up.
Still 3 players up and looking for that final opportunity to take out either Gaddafi or Venom. As Venom tries to sneak
one
on
round
out to
слишком
potentially
аккуратно
the next
играет.
focus point here. Surely 1 round. They have a little bit of information as to where
По
both
идее,
1
Титаны их
million
могли
and 1 round were
закрыть
duking it
спокойно.
out. And now you can see the rest of the
Надо
3
было в
players
наглую
of
здесь
1
на
round
лицо им
currently
залететь,
slowly
они
but
бы
surely
ничего не
pushing on
сделали
through
бы.
to try and cover as much ground as possible and try and spot those final stragglers.
Yeah, this is going to be 1 round's game to win. Let's see if that is going to be on the books for them. Venom now super low on that health bar, but up comes Eflex. Just trying to sneak around the edge. Wants that flank on towards Venom, and that's all it's going to take for the shots to come through. It's going to be Knight to lock it in. 1 million.
не забрали топ,
Goodbye.
нормально.
Up comes the push
Ништяк.
now as
Это
1
нам.
round looks to close it up, but it's going to be
Это для нас хорошо, то что 1 миллион не забрали.
They do not want to give those points away, and there we have it. The winner chicken dinner getting handed over to
1 миллион топ-3, да, взяли?
on this very first match of the day.
Да, топ-3. Это получается 10 ПТС плюс 15, 25, 23, 25, 50 наши где-то. Сколько там? Ну, где-то 50 ПТС разница будет.
Oh, that was just a
У нас
prime
с первым
opportunity
местом.
there for 1 round to come through and find the final
Ладно, еще 3
moments
карты
that they
впереди
could happen
есть.
in their
Дальше будет у нас
I mean, that was such a beautiful
Sanhok
finish coming
вроде.
through.
Сейчас в
I mean,
описании
they
посмотрю.
had the
Если что, в
numbers
описании
advantage, they
расписание
just
есть.
utilized the elevation.
Так, Miramar,
And I was
Sanhok, да.
actually quite
Потом
surprised
Miramar
to see that
обратно
the
и
elevation
Erangel
between
последний
1
будет
million and
для наших.
Virtual Gaming
Потом
went
на
on
отдых
for
уйдут.
so long, right? It was just 2 solos duking it out in those late few zones.
Так, я отошел.
To see who's gonna
На
be the one
следующей
to
катке
survive the
встретимся
longest.
через
But unfortunately, as
6
we know,
минут.
when
6,5
1 round
минут.
stepped in, they just pushed through. But also a great improvement coming through from Super Young Stars, right? They held their position in that zone for the longest time. And I do think these additional points that they've been able now to garner come through from placement is going to do some pretty favorable things for them, at least looking at the overall rankings.
I mean, I was asking for it. I was asking for that new balance for virtual gaming because we know they can take eliminations. We know they can take engagements. We were just waiting for that better placement, that better rotation to come through and to bring that overall better balance that is the reason they were the champions from the first season of PMPL Africa. So now we're starting to see that coming through. I just hope they keep that going for the rest of the day.
Well, speaking about keeping that going for the rest of the day, let's hop into our first round of match rankings to see how many points the teams were able to lock in. As we can see, of course, the players coming through from 1 million, sitting up in pole position with those 16 eliminations, 26 points coming in total for this game. And that just puts them above our victors, right? The winner chicken dinner team, 1 round. But they've only had 4 eliminations, so that puts them on 19 points in total. Virtual Gaming locked into that 3rd place with 17. And then, of course, our Super Young Stars, our Rising Stars, if we can call them that, coming into this match, featuring all the way in 4th place with 11 points to the name.
Absolutely, and I'm very happy to see Virtual Gaming and Super Young Stars in the position that they find themselves in. A good improvement from what we saw yesterday. I've already mentioned Virtual Gaming's improvement in terms of placements, but Super Young Stars also picking up those double digits. That's fantastic. Moving on to the second page, as we can take a look, we finish off this first page with Titan Gaming in 8th place, which is a bit odd to me, but of course, then we see a few more bizarre names to be finding on this side of the page. I mean, we had a winner chicken from Zero Tolerance yesterday. Unfortunately, here they'll only be taking off that 1 pointer, and even Team Lag, you know, a lot of the teams here not quite finding, I guess, the points that they would have wanted to. As well as Legends of War, we know they were a little bit split up there towards the final phases. Unfortunately, one left very far out into the middle of nowhere. So hopefully that will be resolved into the next map, and we can see a few of these teams bringing a better performance that they would have wanted.
Well, at this point, so what? The Los Leones is going to be code word for middle of nowhere, right? So, well, I don't know. But again, just taking a look at what we had moving into these last few zones, right? Venom, as we know, a super aggressive player, really capable in performing under pressure. But, I mean, they were in the standoff alongside Gaddafi. Like I said, I'm not quite sure what happened here, but this was a great opportunity for one round. Now to build up a bit of a stampede as they came rushing on forward to close it out, lock in that winner chicken dinner. I mean, what more could you ask for from a team?
Absolutely, and it's that little bit of time that they had just to reset their health and reset themselves before taking that final push, so that they made sure they had it at the best possible health, the best possible numbers, really gave them all of the advantages they needed and those winning conditions, because they also started with a really terrible position, having to climb that ridge line. So just that little bit of time that they got from that standoff, I feel like that's what really gave them that final push over the edge.
Yeah, and I mean, what's also quite exciting to consider is that we still have 2 more Miramars to come. But next up, we are going to be moving over onto Erangel, or rather Sanhok first, to see what the teams are going to be bringing through in the jungle. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be back in a short few minutes with our second match of the day.
Все, тут Ронин ушел в слайд, да, Ронин в слайд. Контент-мейкер. Узбек, сила, все, брат, сила, брат. Что там, кто что делает? Пока перерыв. Вафли покушаю, жесть. Если вопросы есть, задавайте, ребят. Если смогу ответить, отвечу. Байжигит. Вағалейкум ассалам. Жақсы, рахмет өзің. Енді келіп тұрсың ба?
Hello and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro League Africa's fall season.
Welcome back.
2022. Already a very exciting start coming into our very first match of the day over on towards Miramar, where we saw 1 round and 1 million making it into those very late circles. Of course, the players there from
И
one
1
round
million
will be
нормально
going
набирает
with a
ПТС,
chicken
ё-моё.
dinner, but 1 million.
С ними
Walking
байговаться
away with all the
придется.
eliminations is they absolutely
Там еще
obliterated the
VSS
lobby.
Live,
I mean,
но они не
we were
прям
talking about it as the game
сильно
was going, right? Saying that
набирают.
we've not yet seen 1 million do what they did yesterday. And then as soon as we said that, they were just like, you know what? We've got you. Look at this. And then,
Once again, crazy starts, just similar to what we saw from the performances
Miramar
yesterday.
top
So
series,
fantastic start
без
today,
skill.
hopefully. Again, maybe they can keep it up. Maybe someone else will step into the
Не
plate as
пошло.
we move on to Sanhok, because as we know, some of the teams didn't get an opportunity to play Sanhok yesterday, and those were, of course, the teams from Group C, and now they can actually make their debut. So, I mean, I'm looking at Slime for KT, their first map on Sanhok for Pmpl Africa 4.
yeah, I think it's going to be quite an exciting one to see, as you've pointed out, right? The teams that have not yet had the opportunity to play Sanhok to now step up and show us what it is that they are going to be looking to bring in through. But also, I'm also curious to see what we are going to be having coming through from Desert Flame Esports, the players from Leaders Esports, as well as Triple Esports and Wave, because we know this is going to be their first match of the day. So it's going to be quite a bit of an exciting one starting your day on Sanhok, right? Miramar is one thing, but Sanhok is a completely different thing, and I'm wanting to
На
see
Sanhok
whether or
интересно,
not the
что
teams are
пацаны
going to hit the ground running, or whether or not we're
придумают.
going to see a little
Вчера
bit more of
Sanhok
a
не очень
tactical
был.
approach coming through onto Sanhok, because we know either of those strategies could work out quite favorably for the teams.
Oh, absolutely. And what I'm also curious to see is how the teams might be adapting, because we saw quite a quick adaptation yesterday to some of our earlier leaders like Titan, like VST Gaming, and towards the end we obviously had Slime for KT. They jumped into the action quite quickly. We had a few more teams such as Zero Tolerance who also jumped in quite beautifully as well. So I'm wondering if that adaptation is going to be a continuous theme as we move on through this first week, and if the teams are really
Қазір екінші катка болады.
at
Топ
adapting
алған
to the
жоқ
challenges
бүгін
that are
пока
being
что.
thrown at them.
Well, it could be a possibility, right? But we are yet to see what Desert Flame wants to bring out today, right? Starting off today, we've got them sitting all the way in that 19th position, which is not the most ideal position, and also not a position that we are too accustomed to seeing them in. As we know, yesterday it seemed like at a really
Блин, зона,
rough
по
day.
идее,
So
нифиговая
hopefully today's
была
going to be
для
a much
Титана.
better day, and we could actually see quite a substantial performance increase coming
Чуть-чуть
through.
не
And what
повезло.
better way to start it off other than starting it over onto with Sanhok itself. So I am going to be coming in with a few expectations for the teams, right? As you said before, the bar was set
Салам
yesterday,
алейкум, Серик.
but I believe the bar was set for a few teams.
Что там,
and not
Джигтер,
all the
Кыздар?
teams,
Лайк
right?
посек.
I still want to see where
Go.
all the teams are going to be looking to push their respective bars too.
Absolutely. I still want to see more performances from the teams
Absolutely
that haven't quite yet
perfect.
shown exactly what they are capable of. We had that immediate answer from Titan. We had that immediate answer from VST. But I mean, Legends of War, I'm still waiting to see what they are hiding, you know, under the covers and what they're going to be bringing to the stage. Super Young Stars as well. They got much closer this time around, but still there are, you know, some shining stars that I'm waiting to get those answers to. And as we move on to Sanhok, which is, I mean, such a close combat-heavy map, I feel like the teams such as Virtual Gaming, who manage those engagements so beautifully, might be thriving a little bit better this time around, and maybe not. Maybe we'll see some other new stars rising to the occasion.
Well, all will be revealed very, very soon as we are getting ready to move right over into Sanhok. So we don't have to wait too much longer to see what action
зажимать
the
буду
jungle
по
will
нему.
have in store for us as the teams
Қатырма
get ready to
басында,
move. But
говорится,
again,
QB топ.
also looking at what we had coming through
Возражал.
from
А кто это
Slime
қатырма
yesterday, right?
басында?
They also really started to find some
Кто?
good
Ник поменял.
momentum coming through on Sanhok itself. It wasn't the most
Әкеш бетті
insane map
Kaspi
per
айтты.
se for Slime,
Жіберді ғой
but it was
оның.
definitely
Axzcer,
a good
Teaqқа,
one for them. So
Kaspiға.
I'm going to be excited. Well, yeah, well, I am exciting. Oh, thank you.
Exciting.
I'm going to be excited to see what the teams are going to be doing as they move out.
Салам
And,
алейкум.
I mean, Sanhok always has quite a few surprises, so you know, I'm open to any and all of those.
No, absolutely. And
Что там,
it's
давай,
very
кет
exciting
предикты на
times
Sanhok.
for PK here for
Sanhok
PMPL.
тяжелая
For-
карта.
We are going to wait to see if those teams are already shifting up the changes they brought yesterday, or have they brought some new
Бүгін
strategies
ротация
to make sure that
басқаша
they're
болады,
going to
по
be the ones
идее.
taking the winner chicken dinner this time around.
Well, I mean, talking about the stratagems, right?
Зону надо
Let's see
посмотреть.
where the teams are going to be looking to apply those strategies to. Flight path, as we know, on Sanhok, not so important, right? It's important to the extent that it needs to get the teams out, and they need to drop down to
За
the ground.
папа.
That
А,
part is
все,
super
Николай,
important,
ты что ли?
otherwise
Все,
there's no
Николай.
match. But but it'll be a little bit more important that it has a
Привет,
little bit
привет.
more priority than the flight path. Is gonna
10
be
скажешь,
the
верно?
zone,
Я
the initial
твердо.
zone. Now we've seen several surprises come
Короли
from
джунглей
Sanhok
наши.
as to where that zone decides
Блин,
to
тяжко.
move.
Зона
And it is
направо
somewhat
ушла бы, в
temperamental
сторону
on a good
Pmpl,
day,
вообще
if
шикарно
I
было.
could be as bold to say that.
Налево
But,
обратно.
I mean, this is not a bad zone, right? Over on towards the northwestern side, being inclusive of that northwestern island. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm actually liking this
Перехила
quite a
не
bit.
будет.
Got all
Вчера
the
Тик написал,
trifectas
то, что этот
absolutely locked in.
аптеки
And yes, they
урезали,
had that
походу.
interesting, you know, set
Аптек
where we
мало
actually
на
did see
карте.
1 million making such a sneaky approach there coming through from Camp Alpha. So curious to see what we're going to be having
Как
in
дела,
store
Николай?
coming through into this
Чё
game.
нового?
Of course, as we know, there's going to be a few changes with the groups, with Group B sitting out, I believe it is, and the changes might mean that we're going to be seeing some different performances happening. So VST, Darkness already just staring down each other across the river and potentially looking for an early engagement here.
Там
Yeah,
слаймы
I
уже.
just realized that I said that
Они
Slime had a
фраг
good day
заработали.
on Sanhok yesterday.
But it's their first debut.
Хорошая
Yeah,
and
I know,
ответочка,
right? I
нормально.
realized that, and I'm like, oh my goodness,
I
look how
let you go
smart I
with
am.
it. It was okay. You know, you were going to make it up anyway, so it's okay.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. But you know, well, Slime, welcome to Sanhok for your first time in PMBL,
Болеем
right?
за
I
наших,
mean, like
ну.
they were there yesterday in
По-любому.
mind and spirit, right? That's why I feel like
Absolutely.
I saw them out on the battlefield. Now it all makes sense to me.
Вчера
I
за
got it
топ-1
now.
Axzcer,
I've got
короче,
myself
10
back
тысяч
together.
отправил Тику на
Slime,
Каспи.
also with a little bit of a
Про это
spread out
говорим.
approach around the players coming through here from Triple Esports. But we are seeing a little bit of a hot drop actually coming through over in towards Pi None, right? The players there from VST and the squad coming through from Darkness already
Титан,
getting
Алга.
themselves prepped up for a little bit of altercation action. And of course, speaking
Так,
of
1
action,
миллион нету
it
вроде,
is
да?
gonna be
Да,
wasted
надо их
to
догонять
feel a
сейчас.
little bit of that sting come through as Flacco, our birthday boy, is going to be making a play over there. Yes, I spotted it on social media. It's Flacco's birthday today.
Hey!
Happy birthday, Flacco.
birthday.
Now, please don't get eliminated. Just survive a little bit longer. I mean, he's almost patched up. He's getting there. You can't have that.
No, you can't take out the birthday boy. That is just absolutely rude. But yeah, instead, Flacco will be
Hashtag
getting
Titan
the
Alga.
elimination here, taking out Wasted completely. So Desert Flame Esports already starting off with 1 elimination, and this is good. I want to see more of this coming through from Desert Flame Esports. We know what they're capable of from the previous season, and we've yet to see that. So hopefully that is going to be the start. But also a very welcome to
Мартеза
Darkness,
знакомый
Mad
ник,
Knights,
по
and
идее.
of course Arab Golden, as also it's their first debut on Sanhok here. So curious to see what they might
Кем
be
раньше
turning
играл?
around. As we know, Darkness already in that little bit of contact with Pi Nine.
Такое ощущение, как будто в Турции
Yeah,
играл.
I did it again,
Мартеза.
is it's not Flacco, it's Speeden. But I mean, either way,
Why?
happy birthday, Desert
Либо в
Flame.
Европе
Whatever,
где-то.
whatever. I mean, okay. Right, Speeden, happy birthday, my friend. Yes, I fixed it. At least I got it much faster this time around, right? I'm getting better, Ez. I'm getting better. But speaking about getting better, it's up to the players here.
Алейкум ассалам, Бадро. Так,
and
когда
VST
Викенди
to
добавить?
find a bit of
Как-то
an
соскучился.
position.
Просто проки
You
надо
know, either the
пофиксить.
position coming
Да,
from
Викенди
Darkness
добавили,
towards
вообще
VST,
кайф был бы.
or the other
Вместо
way around,
Санка.
from VST over onto Darkness. But as you can see, we've got Zaxi perched up high, a nice elevated position, but the same's coming through from Darkness. I'm liking this kind of you know,
Ну и
play
тач.
by play actual match. I mean,
So nice
Hastily
там.
though, that was a little bit of a crack mate coming through there, but I gotta say I like it.
Ooh, I mean, he sent that one. I was like, okay, wow, if that actually does connect, that's not only over the river, that's over another roof or two just to make that
Там
perfect
поди выгодно,
connection.
чтобы
I mean,
ВСТ сейчас
come on.
закрыли.
We can see VST already now grouping up and making
VST.
that push, making that onslaught. They
Так,
know the
еще
trigger
один.
is here. They are looking for their
это добор.
confirmations.
Это
Ooh,
добор.
and there's gonna be
Так,
none
хорошо,
other than VST
ответочка.
now to follow up with a few names, but
Хансли.
also fall to a few of their
Надо
own
зажимать,
that
они
try to
втроем.
connect on in.
В одном кемпе.
Let's see where
Хаешку,
they're gonna
молик
go.
туда.
Whiskey
Давай,
trying to
давай.
rush on forward, looking for an opportunity here. Iron and
Нормально,
Tornado a
нормально.
little bit further
Эх.
away, and this could be quite problematic for
Чё не
Whiskey as they
дождался
experience it
тиммейтов?
firsthand. It's a
Хорош,
push.
подгорел.
This puts them down, and off they go.
Можно
Silver
вдвоем здесь
flames
раскидать.
of success burning around them.
Сразу
As we
добор,
can see,
добор.
Iron now
Эй,
taking
ты
aim
чё,
over towards
ё-моё.
Vivo. Down they go, and this could be the opportunity now for Darkness to make a bit of a comeback.
2-2.
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, also just fantastic reaction on that trigger here coming through from
Сейчас оба
VST.
с хаешки
Perfect nade
упадут. Ой,
placement.
нормально.
Yes, a little bit of a sacrifice had to be made to get those nades in, but it managed to get them that kill onto Wolves
Хорош.
Hayes. Now just these final connections have to come through,
Хорош.
and
Последний
Darkness
остался,
hopefully will be
давай.
able to get out of this at least with a few eliminations and 2 still left in the action.
Yeah, Darkness looking to shine a little bit of light onto VST, but it now all rides on Xerxes. You can see Xerxes really trying to keep up the pressure there, trying to keep Tornado pinched in that corner. But fortunately, Tornado is able to escape, at least for the time being.
Давайте, закрывайте Зукси.
Here for Zuxi, and they need to act quickly and swiftly with that, as Iron is yet to find an
Кто
angle.
там,
But
Ром?
this is now that great
Что он
strategy
вообще
from
не
Zuxi,
помогает?
just utilizing the hard cover and getting themselves the heck out of dodge.
I mean, it's all that you can really do at this
Нормально,
point in time. I
нормально.
mean, Fivo
Минус
not
3
really in a
дали.
good position there.
По
And I mean,
ВСТшкам.
from it's a boot there
Короче,
coming
впереди
through.
нас ВСТ идут.
Again, the
Slime,
reaction was so,
они
so
сейчас в
good.
катке.
And unfortunately, just as they turned that
Он
corner, that
миллион
nade
нету.
was placed to absolute
Сол
perfection.
вроде
Whiskey, I
догоняли.
mean, honestly, that was a brilliant reaction from them. And again, it's
Вон таблица
a
сверху
little
же,
bit
по
sad
идее,
they had
есть.
to make that
Надо
sacrifice because,
посмотреть.
you know, there was that immediate return. It's just that 3-on-1 situation. What are you going to do about it? But
Титан
Whiskey
шайба
managing to
трубы.
take down at
Да
least
нет,
one
в
or two
смысле,
and
Ренат?
doing so
Нормально
much
все.
damage for the rest of the team.
Не
So
повезло просто.
good start for them to pick up those eliminations. We'll see what they can do in the rest of this one. As for the rest of the team so far, if I'm taking a look at the map, I mean, Zero Tolerance pretty close here towards bootcamp. Obviously not going to be jumping into bootcamp just yet because of course that is currently the territory of one round. So they are
Первую
keeping
катку
their
one
eyes
round
peeled
взяли.
to the
Они
horizon.
вот
And is it
раз,
Flame
два,
Esports
три,
potentially
4,
getting a
5,
few
6.
visitors in the
Шестые
form of
справа
Virtual
в
Gaming
этой
here?
таблице.
Ooh,
Они
I mean,
забрали.
I'll really
Топ-1 на
welcome that
первой.
one in, but it's gonna be
Наши
interesting
топ-8,
position as
5
neither
киллов
of these
вроде.
teams are really going to be looking to move much further than they are right now, at least for the time being, right? Because the zone doesn't really need them to
Я
move
сам
elsewhere.
біздің
Instead, they can look
ВСТ-ның
to hunt it down and
африканский
just
составы.
see what they can find from here. But it is going to be a little bit of a spread coming through in the vicinity, right? The rest of the teams going throughout the entire
Казак они на
map.
пауэрда
There's a lot of
коммунизатор
space, so there's a
Лучи,
lot of opportunity and a lot of
Агори,
room for the teams
кем-то
to collect
Обалдуй.
themselves and come up with that absolutely banger of a strategy to lock in that winner chicken.
И
dinner.
нянь
Who that
вроде
will be,
пришел.
well, we are yet to find out, but it could be any one of our 16 teams. VST also still in contention, down to only one, but you can see D-Was keeping a very watchful eye.
Пойди,
up on that
анонс
ridge
по
line.
ланжок, как они на
Just wants a
пауэрда.
little bit
То,
of
что и
movement
не
over
пришел.
towards
Но
Virgil.
там вроде играл он, кто-то говорил.
It's up to how
За
they're
КП
going to
играл.
choose to kind of play that position out. Just on the opposite end of the waterway, we see the players here from Mad Knight making their way through Hatin, and it is nice and tranquil. They can go about
Заценим
it
сопернику плохая
everything
примета,
they
да,
need in preparation
согласен.
for these later few phases. And I'm just looking at the sheer number of teams we have, is I think that it's
Люксор,
going to be
вот,
a
да.
very hairy fight to the finish.
Absolutely, and I mean, you mentioned, you know, the teams having to collect themselves. I'm just taking a look at lag right now. I mean, you've got one player there towards the edge of docks, you had one there towards Kampang, and even one coming through from Lakwai. All the rotations that lag need to do, they first need to group up and then head right through to the zone.
Смити қосып играларға.
I'm very
Смити
curious to see what sort
деген
of pathing
контент
they might
мейкер ғой.
take, hopefully a little bit more
Он
towards Flurry
емес.
so that they can avoid that super
Про
young
игрок
stars
емес.
sort of just radar that's happening there, as they have set themselves up there right towards the edge, currently potentially in maybe a form of containment that they can
Public
hold the
деген
rest of the
басқа,
teams making rotations in.
Турнир деген
Again,
басқа.
it is Sanhok, it's not a crazy rotation in, but they're definitely the team that has to make the furthest rotation as it currently
Это
stands.
ВСТ сейчас Соляну еще их закроют, что
I
ли?
was just about to say that Zuxi has not opted to leave Painan just yet. Instead, Zuxi looks to pick up Tornado, and now they need a little bit of iron in their system. As we can see, Zuxi come through with a beautiful jump shot to lock in that elimination and bring in four eliminations. I mean, so far, the most on this map. So what a crazy play that is coming through from VST.
О, наших показывают. О, ЗТС на Мирамаре они забрали одного или двоих. Одного нашего. Псих забрали на Мирамаре. Сейчас ответочка должна быть.
But saying all of that, you can see the players here from Zero Tolerance still holding a steady position while we have Titan actually starting to rotate much closer towards them.
And Tyson had a pretty fantastic performance towards Sanhok yesterday, so hopefully they
Что
can
за
replicate a
Тигрс?
little bit of that
Посмотрите,
today,
на
because they've
фотку,
been
видишь?
somewhat quiet so far
Заряженный.
compared to that
Тик, да.
explosive start that we saw starting on the first day of Pmpl 4. So yeah, now the opportunity lies in wake, and that is in the form of Zero Tolerance, who we also know had a fantastic performance as well on these maps, and even picking away a winner chicken dinner. So interesting to see both of these teams for now. Zero Tolerance just staying quiet, making sure they don't want to pick off any
Телефон
players
смело
just yet
бар,
until they
шагал,
are
100%
absolutely sure that
шагал.
they will be the ones walking away with with the W at least.
Финалда шығады. Финалдан вот уже кішкене
Around the trifecta that is the zone right
надо
now.
поиграть будет.
Yeah,
Кішкене
but
қиындау
another team
болады.
that I'm going to be looking at is
Финалда.
going to be the players from Seoul, right? They
Даже
are
лигадан
in
easy
trifecta,
шығады.
right? Like you
Топ
just said.
16. Сосын
But,
финалда
they're also the team to
6
beat up
команда
and
шығады
win away
региональный
from
финалға.
yesterday, and they did so with 8 eliminations
Африкадан
to their name.
Африкадан финалынан
Maybe we could
6
see a little bit
команда
of
и
continuation
Арабиядан
from
10 команда.
them as they are smack dab center zone, very favorable spot, and they could be expecting quite a bit of company to be rotating in towards their region. But speaking
Я
about
шықса
regions and
жақсы болар
company,
еді Итачи.
it's going to be Desert Flame now looking for potential
Mid
places
Bulls
to
пен
be
Titan.
had while they are focusing their efforts on getting themselves not
Қазіргі
only into
СНГ-да
the
ең
zone,
мықты командалар.
trying to find a way to
Ooh.
bring in that continuation as they do now get into a bit of an altercation there with leaders. It's
Туған
going to be
менен
Flacco to get
опасно
knocked
ойын жыртып
this time around.
жыртып
And
тұр ғой
already
берді. Я
wasted
соны
has
айтам.
been
Вообще
sent
не
away.
ожидал,
It is now up
по
to
идее.
Morteza, Shadow and Gary Boy to come through, but up comes Morteza, quickly just trying to get a little bit of a closer look on towards Desert Flame.
I mean, this is the second team that has just gone back for the
1 million
revenge, that has
сосын
just gone
ВСТ
back
и
for the piece of the
Слайм
action.
деген
Once
үш
again, we
команда.
saw
Вот
VST do it
потенциальный
in
соперник.
form of, Xerxes getting that 1-on-2, and now leaders, they're back to just
Жақсы
say,
жақсы
you
ойнап
took
қояды.
wasted from us, we might be taking Flacco from you, or maybe even a little bit more, but for the time being,
Тик
it
больше
does
на
seem
игры
like they will
похож.
be sending at least a
Да-да-да.
scout out and leaving Shadowin and Carryboy just to look and see what else they can get.
Нави
from the
ще,
situation.
Нави
Morteza,
чуть-чуть
though,
форму
on that
потеряли.
scouting position,
Ну,
does get
наберут, я
taken out
думаю,
by
по
Gaddafi
лиге.
and immediately confirmed. So leaders down to 2 as it takes
Шоу
on the
керек, по
entire force
идее,
of Desert
Нави.
Flame.
Oh, yep, that could be the play. We'll have to wait and see. But up comes Arab Golden moving on towards that western side of Painan. And still, Zuxi is here,
Европадан
right? Zuxi has claimed
Mid
Painan
Bulls
for
явно
themselves.
шығады.
They've planted
Шоу
their
керек.
flag. And now they're going to try and defend it as
Потом
best they can.
Йол
It is gonna be
Пионер
somewhat
хочу,
of a
чтоб
challenge
прошли.
because
ВП
Arab Golden
прошли.
is a
Нави.
full squad. But we'll see now as
Кымбарда, да.
the zone moves, it moves further towards that western side. Again, bringing along with it quite a few challenges as the teams will now need to get themselves positioned into that kind of trifecta area. But surprisingly enough, the entirety of Ruins is open for the taking.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a question mark at this point in time. I guess, some of the teams still making rotations. Wave might be able to take a control of that.
Жо,
As they are a
Адилхан.
little
Қазір
bit
Mid
slower
Bulls
with the
пен
rotation. I'm
Титандар
loving the cute fluffy animals on screen.
СНГ-да
Please give us more of those
сөйлейтін
any time of the
командалар.
week. But for the rest of the teams so far, they're looking pretty comfortable within the zone. I'm not really seeing any scary points of contention other than that northern
ВП-да
part of
мықты,
the edge of zone
по
as Virtual
идее.
Gaming, Desert Flame and leaders are kind of just making a
Но Mid
group
Bulls
here
пен
that is
Титандар
a
вообще
very
прям
scary question mark for me at this point.
өте жақсы ойнайды.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a little bit of a scary play. But, maybe it couldn't. Or maybe it won't be. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this one unfolds. But Blue Zone is going to start moving up in the next few seconds. So a team like Wave, who we have just about entering the safe playable area, will need to try and get themselves locked in. But meanwhile, we see the players here from Seoul now defending that center zone area as they take aim down on towards Zero Tolerance. Vortex is going to get traded
Слайдар
down.
қазір замена
See
болып
the
жатыр
Paradox and
командалардың.
Skydo now looking to find a bit of an opportunity here. Maybe
Сосын
they can
көреміз
find a few
кім
of those
келетінін.
trades along the way. But it is going to
Ну,
be
Слай
quite a
по-любому
challenge
жақсы
for them
ойнайды.
to
Но
secure
пока
those
что
positions.
топ-1
Now, White
СНГ
Whip with
емес.
a fantastic spray down, at least there towards Vortex. Now looking for a little bit more, as the rest of the Zero Tolerance members are just ducking and diving, trying to send
Қазір
out those
кішкене
nades
ойнау
and
керек
trying to give
оларға.
themselves a little bit more space to work with here as they recover the situation. Hema, of course,
Новенький
just
игроктар
holding back,
келді.
just keeping an eye out. And in the meantime, that scary question mark I was talking about at the northern part of the zone. Yeah, that is because Desert Flame currently finding themselves in a bit of a sandwich.
Я
now thanks to
пионер, ол
Virtual Gaming
казахская
moving on into
организация.
their territory.
Қазақ
So not sure where
организациясы.
that one's going to be leading currently, DK.
Бір қазақ бар
Yeah, not
составында.
quite sure just
Фачи
yet, but
деген
we'll
бала.
keep eye on that. Speaking of keeping eye on the action, right? It is
Интервью
going to
бар
be Skydo
каналында
now to get
Фачимен.
pinsed up in this building as it is Raouf and Whites, I believe now just moving in, looking to apply as much pressure as they can. They've sniffed out someone in the compound.
Топ-1
They need to
СНГ
push
прям
it out, and
явных
they do
нету.
succeed, as we can see Whites now pushing
Есть
in,
группа
picking
команд,
up that trade on towards
которые хорошо играют и
and
все
now
время
it does
финал
seem like
забирают
the
там.
players here from Seoul are
турниры.
able to maintain
Булсы,
and retain
Титаны,
control
ВП.
of their position. But
Круто,
they're going to
да.
be put to the test once again, as we can see leaders moving much
Не
closer.
помню
We've
всех.
got Mad Knight moving in, as well as Titan. I mean, again, this is the
Ну,
situation.
кто турниры смотрит, те
Speaking name,
видят, кто
you can
турики
see they're
забирает,
trying to move closer towards
они
the
по
zone,
очереди
especially
между
that we're
собой
on the
делят.
verge of seeing where this next phase is going to be taking us.
Absolutely, trying to get yourself as centered as possible, putting yourself in the next possible,
Арнамыз
best possible
мықты еді
position here for the
бронзбек
next
тигр ғой
phase
негізі.
shift.
Да.
Have to get to that trifecta, have to get into that center, and unfortunately for teams that are making those later rotations, they
Зона
might
вообще,
have to battle
блин, не
their way
прощает,
through.
да?
But all right, that shift is still going to be favoring
Уходит и
Soul. It
уходит
is
всё
going to be
время.
favoring Mad Knights, and even the remainders of those a little bit stragglers
Через
teams such as
Пайнаны
Brave
играть
and,
надо.
Slime 4KT who just got themselves
Астыға
into the zone.
түсіп Пайнаны
They will have an
жауып,
opportunity to get themselves set.
Yep, they will have an opportunity, but I gotta say, the zone down onto Trifecta, this is gonna be quite the risky, challenging performance here. Lag, I mean, all the way down towards that far southern edge, you've got so much ground to cover, and with that, it is gonna be the players from Desert Flame now to get snuffed. There's the action and the pressure comes through. But
Енді
Virtual
Ринат
Gaming
сразу
ground
енді
to
бірінші
find out
орындары
themselves
алмайды ғой
through
енді.
back
Замена
into
болды
contention,
командада.
moving through to the zone itself. Fifth, fourth phase zone. Ooh,
Да,
the
чуть-чуть
blue is gonna be
разыграются,
absolutely
потом
devastating
обратно
at this point,
наберут.
but it seems also like the players here from Arab Golden are gonna be trying to keep a little bit of
Кішкентай
pressure on
турнир
Lag.
болғанда қазір
Not
бәрі
overly
Pmpl ойнап
committing to
жатыр.
that just
Кішкентай
yet, right?
частный
They're just
турнир
gonna be
ойнап.
pushing themselves just ahead of
Уақыты
them,
жоқ
looking to
мына
see
командаларында.
what Lag is gonna be trying to do. But I mean, looking at
Соблюдается здесь.
Gaga, it does seem like they know that something is a little bit sus at this point.
Yeah, but they've probably spotted out
А
a
так
pixel
на
or two in the
командалар
grass, maybe a
Титан,
helmet
допустим,
sticking out, maybe a
Нави,
barrel
бәрі
just raining down some
сол
hellfire at this
турнирді
point in time. But they are
ойнаушы
definitely
еді,
approaching this as
по
cautiously
идее.
as they possibly can.
Просто
Of course,
қазір
that
Pmpl
zone
болып
is going to
жатыр.
force the issue just a tad as it
Teaq
moves into the
хорош.
fifth phase. But for the time being, Team
Нормально,
Lag will
двоих
just try
сразу
and find
забрали.
every opportunity.
Всё
But hey,
отлично.
speaking of opportunities, Titan,
Ну, как я
they
и
opened
говорил,
the door for
на
Lag now
юге
as they take
поиграли.
on
Так,
Arab
Тика
Golden.
надо поднимать.
Wow, what a play that is. I mean, loving the advances coming in here. I mean, Titan, they were nearly hidden on the southern edge of the zone, but right as Arab Golden started to move in their direction, they sprung into action. As we can see, also now Lag capitalizing on this fact as well as they move in and find the remainder of Arab. And that is what a sandwich. But again, right, Lag now in a little bit of a vulnerable spot. They need to try and regain some
Я не
ground.
знаю,
regain some
subscriber.
control.
Не
Titan
знаю.
is not going to let that happen just yet.
I mean,
Голдтар
honestly, Titan, they've read the
білмеймін оны.
textbook of Sanhok, right? They know that it's
Оны
third-party
білмеймін.
central, and they made that work to their perfection. And
Так,
at this point
Титаны
in time, they're
хорошую
looking for their
позицию
next possible
забрали.
victims.
Но надо
Might be the
вытаскивать
performance
Тика и
of Super
Панчера.
Young Stars, but hold on, Wave is also getting involved. This
там
punch does go
напрягает
down. There's
сильно.
nades flying at Gaddafi, so everyone trying to make those rotations into the trifecta are feeling the brunt of the
Ай,
action.
блин.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be
Еще
an
один
easy
отпуск. И
rotation.
вон
And
фуллопу
all of
двое
the teams
бегут.
having to fight tooth and nail to get into zone.
Так, жить,
Yeah, I'm
жить,
loving
жить.
this contention come through. It is challenge upon challenge upon challenge. You can see Lag opting into the compound there, but it's not going to be a
Хорош,
safe play
хаешка
for long as
нормальная.
they still need to get through
Еще
that.
одна.
And they
Надо
get
закрывать
themselves
эту
secured
двойку
up in
по-любому.
towards the zone. Ooh, Kakao getting taken down. A9Q also starting to lose health at a bit of an alarming rate.
Хорош!
Is the blue zone at this stage.
Тигр,
and it is gonna be
Axzcer, тигр.
Axzcer to just
И тот
capitalize on
нокнулся.
that
Нормально,
defending
всё.
on through and finding the trade.
Нормально. Уф.
Gaga out in the blue, opting for a bit of a
Ща
hill strategy
разрезается.
down on that southern edge. But now, Slime, the only team that is full sending
Я
into zone
испугался,
that
по
has,
идее, думал, сейчас
like
заберут.
quite a predominant
Так, Axzcer
presence
еще тех
moving
напрягает.
in.
Нормально.
And we have your force there from Virtual Gaming, also just out in the waterway. But Triple is yet to push in. We
Ну,
are yet to
Десай,
see what's
салам,
gonna
как
come through
дела?
from the Super Young Stars all the way on that eastern side. But as you can see down south, it is still looking super challenging and not,
мы тоже
not a
хорошо
clear
играли,
pathway
да.
to that zone.
I mean, even for Wave right now, if they make a direct jump
Даже с
into
одной
the
мыслью
zone,
на будке
as you
жил
mentioned,
уже.
Slime 4KT,
Восстание.
because they made that push to the zone, they
Когда
hold
Pmpl был.
majority of the hard cover. They hold majority
Контент
of the buildings
снимали.
still available.
Интервью
Yes,
там,
Yafos
вот
is
это,
pretty close
выход,
to at least one of them in the
видео-выход.
center zone, but as a solo, you are going to want to hide, and solo esports, Soul esports rather, are going to wish they were hiding. Unfortunately, as Super Young Stars just roll on through, picking up those
Все
two
Титаны в зоне,
fantastic
нормально.
eliminations. And
Главное,
you
на
see the
сольника не
elimination
напороться вот
just
этого, блин, он сейчас
absolutely
там палки
popping off as these teams are making
в
rotations.
колесо вставит.
Yeah, I mean, a lot
Ай,
of popping off
Панчер
coming
умер.
through as we can see that feet not able to keep up with all the action. But up comes the plays now from Soul. Ooh, Raouf finds a nice straight, but it gets straighted down in turn as Moore
Нормально, эти засинка страдают. 5 бинтов всего лишь. Вот это 4, смотря в Теaqе. Псих, брат, не подставься. Псих, по-братски, не подставься. И сразу с несколько команд, смотря, от зоны погибают. Еще одна команда минус. Говорю, аптеки порезали. Аптек мало на карте, из-за этого перехилить никто не может. Аптека жёг вообще из кунги.
Absolutely, and unfortunately, Slime's advantages just fell through the water with that last zone shift. And now, as we mentioned, Titan, they're sitting in a beautiful position.
Блин, панчера потеряли, жалко. Втроём.
The last remaining hopeful here for Seoul
Так, там
Esports.
смоки заметил вроде, Псих справа. Псих полностью берег контролировать должен. Так, все, Псих, хорош, первый ног, или не он?
Oh, under the microscope here as they try and make a swim for.
Да, аптек нету вообще, беда. Подставляться нельзя. Я хорошо десять. Отлично. Все, Тайсон в нокауте. Так, топ-5 уже. Можно топ-1, пацаны, забирать. Хорош, Псих Соника забрал, отлично, все. Так, слаймы остались, Axzcer хорош уже крутит. Там сзади кто-то перехиливает, кажется. Teaq, отлично, ног есть. Уже 7 киллов. Втроем могут забрать, топ-4. В зоне 2 команды, да, двое перехиливают, все. Самое главное, чтобы Закира в спину не настрелял Психу и Axzcer'у. Если хотя бы один ног даст, тяжко будет. Зона у слаймов. Смоков нету у Axzcer'а. А если бы смоки были, можно было на лицо закинуть. Так, все, позицию спалили. Так, ну Axzcer последнего играет. Axzcer отвлекает. И пацаны по левой сейчас подходят. Блин, Axzcer'у надо двигаться уже. Потихонечку. Зона идет. Направо надо идти. Так, ой-ой-ой, Псих под кавер заехал, хаешка уже от Пронто готовится, опасно. Пронто первее хаешку держал. Так, нет, не туда, Псих хорошо перелетела хаешка от слаймов. Псих на ногах, нормально, живем. Так, Пронто вышел на Психа. Под кавер, хорошо, 1 хп у Пронто, Псих, ног. Так, и сразу пошли все. Так, Teaq, 1, все. Эх, топ-3. Блин, лута не было, ни смоков, ничего, блин. Одна хаешка у Психа была только. Ладно, нормально, топ-3 нормально. На Санке топ-3 это хорошо. По идее. Это лучше, чем вчера. Вчера вообще печальный Санок был. Сегодня получше. Зона ушла, видишь, в сторону слаймов. Тяжко. У них и кемп вот этот, однушка, и камень, и все есть. А здесь слева что-нибудь есть интересно? Поиграть где-то. Не, у них и возвышенность, смотри, ХГ есть. И не варик вообще. Да. Нету позиции здесь. По-любому на лицо надо было заезжать.
Yellow, I guess, for wave, we'll see how many meds are still left. Maybe we might get another bit of a. Well, what did Sanhok do yesterday? A bit of a push-up. So maybe we get something else here. Maybe a little bit of a dance move to sign us off from Sanhok as the second.
Нормально сыграли, вы чё?
But 4KT will be
Ренат,
absolutely thrilled with this winner chicken.
Тема сыграли. Топ-3,
Топ-3,
топ-2 было бы вообще нормально. Топ-1 вообще шикарно было бы. Я вот этого не в тему, блин, не нокнулся. 1 хп остался. Чисто из-за того, что забустался.
But he has
Выжил.
that slime.
Если бы его нокнули, нормально уже было бы.
Right, so
2-2.
like I said, I had a premonition. That was a prediction that I gave before we even got into the match. As you said, I just had my days.
Всем
mixed up.
заезжать на кемп не получилось бы по-любому, потому что если бы они все заехали бы, на одну хаешку встали бы и все, сразу 3 минуса. Под кавер заезжали, правильно. Типа Axzcer кавер давал, Psix заехал в упор, попытался с хаи нокнуть. Если бы, возможно, еще одна тачка была бы, и Teaq смог бы заехать в спину, тогда бы, может быть, получилось бы топ-1 забрать. А так тяжко. Считай, Psix один на тачке заехал, Axzcer по-любому кавер дает, он погибает. Даже если ног там типа оформляет, все равно он не успевает там зону хавать сильно. И Teaq full open по праву бежит, по-любому. Ну, не говори, капец он забустался. Ну, это дефолт, по идее, все бустаются перед файтом. Как раз таки бусты решают. Но медикаментов не было вообще. Сколько там, у Психа 2 аптеки? У пацанов я там не помню. Хаешек, лута нету вообще. Они на вот этих много потратили, которые на гору, когда не поднимались же, двойка сзади, желтые, когда поджимались, на них много хае потратили. But I said, who would have thought that this would be such a substantial game coming through for Slime? I mean, what a way for them to just showcase their talent on Sanhok. But of course, we also call Sanhok Slumhawks, right? So, ну, типа, разницы не было. Если бы все заехали, они сразу бы умерли бы. А так, все правильно сделали. На разыгровку, на исполнение.
But absolutely fantastic performances.
Чуть-чуть не повезло. Если
Если
заехали бы сразу, меньше вариков было бы забрать. Топ-1.
And they constantly have to adapt. So some of the teams who didn't have a fantastic performance on Miramar, well, they're under pressure today because we have such a Miramar heavy day. And of course, Group C.
Да, у этих позиций вообще, у наших вообще позиций не было никакой. Слева от кимпа, допустим, они на ХГ сидят, если от лица Титану смотреть, они направо идут, там вообще ничего нету, там тонкие деревья, за них не спрячешься. Им по-любому надо было файтиться. Эти в зоне, наши вне зоны. По-любому тяжко.
Because then we have a conversational piece in terms of how much they can close the gap today.
It was absolutely crazy, right? But of course, speaking about crazy and some
Киберы
of the
лучше знают,
monstrous
что
plays
делать.
that we saw, we have to give a big shout out there to
Ну
Monster
да.
Energy.
Ну вы же видели, там Псих заехал, сразу хаешки начали ему кидать. Если бы втроем заехали бы они, даже они втроем не заехали бы, там у них баги. Они вдвоем максимум заезжали. Один по-любому оставался последним играть на кавер. Это Axzcer был, он кавер давал сверху, чтобы заехать смог Псих. А дальше уже импровизация. One sponsor, we gotta thank Oppo as well. So you have to say thank you there to Oppo and well, born to. Ну как ты, Ренат, говоришь, если бы они заехали, они бы точно топ-1 не забрали. Это прям ЖБ 100%. А так, то, что они сейчас сделали, могли топ-1 забрать. Там чуть-чуть, вот видишь, 1 хп не повезло им этого нокнуть. Если бы они его нокнули, нормально уже бы. Просто на стрейфах побежал бы там, кто Axzcer побежал бы на стрейфах, попытался там разменяться со вторым, и Псих бы его на размене дожал. И Teaq бы справа тоже успел зайти на него, бы внимания не обращали. По идее, нормальный расклад был.
To try and bring in those improvements. But speaking about improvements, right? Looking back on Sanhok, we did see the players from Titan yesterday. I think they finished in like, I think it was like 12th, 13th place. Somewhere around that ballpark area where they participated. But this time around, in today's Sanhok, they actually made quite a substantial improvement. And they actually made it in towards the top 3, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, here are some of the beautiful highlights from this insane Sanhok game.
And what a highlight to start off with. Remember this push coming through here from Whiskey. Absolutely beautiful reactions. And of course, the pressure was on Soul to just keep that trifecta positioning in play. I mean, they were the first team to find themselves there. They had to fight their way out. Arab Golden, of course, also found themselves in that little bit of a pincer between Titan and Lag, who then pushed forward.
Вот
and
на них много
unfortunately, they
хае
didn't quite make it out
потратили.
here. As you can see, the nade just flushing on through. But either way, some rotations coming out through from the rest of the teams, such as Salt Esports, did land them a couple of those eliminations. We know they had to hold those trifectas. And beautiful
Хаешки
fights
были бы
back
на
and
финал,
forth between super young stars. I
они
mean,
бы через
having
хае
to run
слаймом,
and gun
слаймом
like
дали бы
absolute
ног
mad lads.
по-любому.
They really picked up some fantastic.
Просто холодный закинули бы.
Yeah, they definitely did, and I got
И
a lot of
пробежали бы.
celebration coming through there from Plaza. But I think that was quite a nice one to end off that match with. And of course, speaking about ending off the match, we are going to be hopping into a very quick break. So be sure to stay tuned, and we'll see you
Вторую
guys
катку
right
провалит,
back
но
afterwards with match
рукопилизатор.
number 3.
Куда шитое. Ренат, тебе точно киберспортсменом не быть с такой выдержкой. Только бірінші неделя пойди, бірінші апта, екінші күн. Куда торопиться? Нормально все. Алейкум ассалам. Титан Алга, Бауыржан. Біржан, извиняюсь. Біржан. Да, конечно, охота топ-1, но все равно. Бывает. Нету команды, которая каждую катку будет топ-1 забирать. Нигде. Топ-1 каждую карту забирают только читеры. Жақпай отыр. Представь, что она за Титанов болеет. Сразу нормально болып кетеді. Я алады ғой, свое возьмут они, пацаны, не переживайте. Қазір топ-3 получается. Он ПТС и қанша килл жасады? Кім көрді? Я забыл. Жоқ, Сануктан нормально ПТС жинады. Это вообще кайфно. Санук вообще неиграбельная карта. И на ней ПТС заработать, это вообще нормально. Free Fire был. Енді Free Fire емес қой бұл, PUBG ғой.
How can I save you when you're tangled in your lies? Caught up in the middle, I can see it in your eyes. Lonely in the corner, waiting for somebody to come and save.
Hello and welcome back. We're getting ready to roll into our third match right here on the PUBG Mobile
Титан Алга,
Rolling
какой
Africa
FF, ё-моё.
season for 2022. Of course, this is day number 2. Now that means next
Так.
up we're going to be heading straight over
Келесі
into
карта
towards
Miramar,
the
сосын
lovely
Erangel,
desert dunes
и
to see
сосын
what the teams are going to be bringing in
на
for their
отдых.
second visit. We know first match 1 million stayed true to their guns from what we saw yesterday. They brought in an absolutely insane performance. They didn't get the winner chicken dinner.
Тиктің
So
бүгін
there's
қысқа болған сияқты
quite a
ғой.
gain,
Не,
right?
Тик
I
нормально,
mean,
наоборот, бірінші
That was an
картадан
insane amount of eliminations that they brought in. Like, let me just double check
ойнап жүр.
my facts
Бірінші
before I
каткада
get from
қанша?
the
16
700
beginning.
damage.
eliminations, I believe.
Жасап.
Absolutely insane, yes. 16 to come through. I mean, what a way, but also we
Алатын
did see
шығар
players
топ-1.
there
Иә, Miramar мен Erangel қалды.
a really fantastic
Алат деп шығар.
finish over onto the Sanhok. I mean, I
Алат
thought
шығар
that
деп
even
ойлаймын.
before the match started, I'm just that good. And that was me done and dusted. I'm not going to do it again. because
no, I was getting ready to
Енді
ask
Miramar
what
жақсы
options in
ойнайды.
Miramar.
no,
Прям.
no.
Why are
I
you cutting me
reserve
off like
those.
this?
It's only once a season, right? That's it. I've done it now. It's
You
there.
can't. No. Okay, whatever. It's fine. You know, Slime 4KT coming through with that 24 points a game on Sanhok. Beautiful performance from them. And I feel
Да
like
даже
that's
если
really gonna
cover
match
knock
up
не
with
дает,
what
он не
Erangel
дает
at the
нормально
end of
типа
this season,
стрелять
see how they
по
close
игроку,
that
который
gap, because
заезжает.
what I want to
Cover
see
это
now is
типа
to
много
then bring
решает.
that momentum all the way to the next Miramar. Because, come on, we want to see some of that
Что
Miramar
там,
action.
Teaq?
Yeah,
Нормально,
speaking of
разлетка
Miramar,
бар.
right, it is,
Сразу
quite
на
into the
Вальдмар.
action, as you rightly said so. But, this is
Зона.
gonna be an
Так,
opportunity
самолет
for the teams
на
looking
восток
to
летит.
try and
Зона.
catch up with the points in
Слева
position,
будет
right? As we
обратно?
know,
Или
coming
внизу?
into today, we had teams sitting at the lower end of the leaderboard in need of a few points, really having to
не
try and
знаю.
make that push happen.
Нормально. Сейчас
And
тачки
we do
возьмут,
see a
поедут.
few of them in this lobby, right? We've got the players from Desert Flame still in a position where they need to try in those
Turkish
pushes. There
Shore.
we have our standings at the time, our
Сколько тут?
rankings. So as we can
23?
see, we got Team Mirth,
26?
players today from Desert Flame, and Legends of War really needing to try and rise to the occasion here. Team Mirth at least making it into double-digit figures, right?
Yeah.
Well, we need to see Desert Flame. I mean, this is the map.
Yeah.
It goes with their name.
23
Flame,
ПТС?
Miramar. It's one and the same.
Также 23 ПТС.
Absolutely. I mean,
Так,
when I think
Moss
about Miramar, that's the first
elimination.
team I think about.
Он
other
6
than
килл
1 million.
засада.
But also just
На
huge shout out
Тигра он
to Slime
6 килл.
4KT. I
Teaq деген.
just took a glance at those live
Айгыр.
rankings and to see them immediately jump to second overall, and they're not even playing this Miramar. Man, I'm gonna have to wait till the next Miramar. Come on. Anyway, hopefully they're gonna bring that momentum coming through. But beautiful flight path, as we can see, coming on through. Really, obviously, very eastern of the map, and the flight path just went
Так,
you know,
что-то
the
панчер.
opposite way of the zone. So
Yeah.
that's great.
Yeah,
the teams are gonna
zone
have to make
наверх
quite
ушла.
a bit of a trip here, DK.
But what I'm liking about the zone is that
Нормально,
it's centered
слева
up
никого
on
нету.
San Martin, right? And that is where
Можно
Desert
крутануть
Flame
и сверху
to go.
заехать. Сверху играть.
So, maybe we could see a bit of a push coming through from that side, but we're not
Давай,
really seeing
Теaq,
Desert Flame
в чат. Титан, Алга,
that
топ-1
direction.
надо,
Instead, they went
по-любому.
down south.
Так, ничего себе, Тик еще из
okay.
хаешек
Looking for
убивает.
vehicles, you know, maybe
Двоих
jumping into a
убил с
vehicle
хае.
immediately,
I don't
then
know.
making their trip to San Martin. I don't know, maybe they thought that because the zone was obviously
На
so
Вала MVP Алан
southeastern,
Деттур,
that,
по идее.
the flight path
Тик.
was so southeastern that the zone might follow in suit, but obviously it decided no, not
Yeah.
today.
Well, it is what it is, right? The teams will have an opportunity to get to wherever it is that they want to go in that zone by utilizing those vehicles. But of course, teams not having that luxury at this current point in time is going to be the players here from Triple Esports and the squad there from VST. Now getting ready for
Купить
the
Айгер,
gamble
самому
up
стать
into
Айгером.
the
Да-да-да.
to see them in pretty close proximity to each other. But it does seem, at least for the time being, both teams are respecting the space and no one's
Короче,
really
предикчу.
opting to
Сейчас
show up
залутаются,
too early.
поедут
But I kind of
налево наверх,
understand why, right? Because
потом через
they
Ла
want to
Кабрерю
make
заедут
sure that
сверху,
they've got everything that they
там
need,
кого-нибудь
at least to
убьют,
get into some form of an
потом
altercation.
еще
I'm pretty
кого-нибудь,
sure once either
потом
side
чуть-чуть
feels
поживут, и в
confident
финале
with their
потом
setup, we could
будут.
see a little bit of a
8
change
киллов у них
come
будет
through,
на
right?
финал.
We could see the teams then starting to
И
move in, and
топ-1
of course,
заберут.
Zuxi does
Всё.
that right as I say it.
Yeah, the only thing I would be worried about here for Triple Esports is obviously both teams running that 2-2 split as they are both clearing, you know, their respective buildings. But in Triple Esports' situation, their secondary pair is a little bit further away, so they need to close that gap, which they hopefully are busy doing as we say that. And then just be in a better position to hopefully take the numbers game into play here. Take VST on with as much advantage as you possibly can here. And at the moment, VST, they're still keeping the high ground. They are looking out towards Triple Esports' direction, but they're not engaging, maybe throwing a couple of shots. They're not pushing into their advantage at the moment. They're looking to create one of their own. So again, just both teams
Я
rebuilding,
женский турнир
keeping that
давар.
space, and
Кыздар
potentially
ойнап
even
жатыр біздің.
disengaging based on the vehicle play here from Triple Esports.
Сондер
But I
деген
think
қыз,
this is a good decision
сосын
being made by
Бешка,
Triple, right? Rather opting for disengage instead of
Kitty.
pushing in. Because as we can see at the top of the screen, or we just saw it there, the players from Triple Esports, they're currently situated up in 10th place. The squad coming through from VST, they're of course situated all the way up in 3rd place. So there's no apparent need really for either of these teams to get into early game altercations. Instead, focus on the positioning, get yourself better situated in a more favorable position in anticipation of those later rounds that are yet to come. And speaking about, you know, a little bit more of a favorable position, we are seeing the players from Leaders Esports actually now bringing in that exact play, right? They are moving in towards that western side of the zone, and the entirety of the western edge of the zone, or the western half rather, is completely open for the
10
taking.
килов закатку делает.
Yeah, that shift that we were seeing from that southeastern flight path, obviously that is, you know,
1
translating
million.
into the team still moving up a little bit more to that northwestern portion of the zone. So still currently, I mean, it's up for grabs. Anyone, if they make that early
Ну, не
push, they can
жесткие
still take a
вот
hold
эти
of El Paso,
1
Crater
million.
Fields. I mean, pretty much everywhere, even
Кайло,
from
Зибой,
Montenuevo
Маршал
all
Веном.
the way up to, you know, the
ВСТ
the
тоже,
Paradise
ё-моё,
Isles.
нормально
So
что-то.
plenty of opportunity here for the teams really to get themselves situated. Obviously, some trying to keep as close as possible to that central point, which is where Leaders currently find
basically.
themselves in. So I don't think they're going to push off too far. They want to stay a little bit more towards center because we know
Bottom day.
Miramar rotations, they can be a little bit crazy.
Yeah, they definitely could be quite a bit crazy. And then speaking about rotations, Triple Esports now getting caught out in their rotation. As we can see those shots connecting on through from VST. I'm loving the awareness being shown here by VST. As we can see Hainsley now getting right down to business, trying to bring in a few of those sprays, doing the due diligence, and trying to create a bit of an opening.
Что-то
here
походу
for
еще
Teaq
торт ПТС
and a move
Казинайт
now
ВСТ.
to sneak themselves much closer, looking to leverage these plays. But I mean, if Hainsley goes on at this pace, there's no need even for the rest of the squad to rotate on up, as they are just
1
ripping
million?
it on through. It is now
Блин,
down to Black and Reef to find that next rotation. They need to be careful because we've got the players there from Virtual
Wikipedia
Gaming,
добавь.
not too far
Сейчас
away.
вот
Out comes that quick sneak and rush.
Ooh,
Oh, Triple just narrowly escaping it.
Again,
1
I mean,
million
we saw
софтовки.
this insane
Ну,
energy
блин,
coming
если
through from
честно,
VST, and I mean, they're
тоже
just
такая
hitting the
мысль
shots
была.
right now. I believe after that 1v2
типа,
that
очень
that's
хорошо
coming
играет.
through on Sanhok, I mean, absolutely, you know, give the
Но здесь,
momentum to them, but
видишь,
of course we do have
не
Virtual
все
Gaming
команды
just
хорошо
sneaking up
играют,
here in the
поэтому
canyons,
можно.
just looking for an opportunity
ВСТ,
potentially to jump
1
onto the
million,
action.
катаются,
But so
фармят.
far
Нам
the
надо
teams,
тоже
they're at least trying
нашим
their luck,
пацанам
which I like.
чуть-чуть
You know, they're trying to
агрессивнее
push
играть
the envelope, you know,
и
they're
фармить.
trying to push the boundaries a little bit, get
Kill
out
it.
of their comfort zones, and make sure they can take any and every opportunities available. So good energy that they're going to keep through, hopefully to the rest of today, because definitely still massive opportunities to
Наши
close the gap
привыкли
on
уже
the
в СНГ, знаете,
Speaking about good
стиль
energy,
свой
right, we're
есть,
seeing that the players
они
from
своим
Zero
стилем
Tolerance
играют.
and the Super Young Stars are all positioned up towards this northeastern corner, right, all the way towards Campo Militar. And actually see Skydo and Vortex now just trying to move up alongside the rest of the team, taking that northern
ПМКЦ, наоборот, в январе вроде где-то там, в начале года начинается, если не ошибаюсь. Короче, все отборы в этом году и ПМКЦ в следующем году, в начале года.
There could be a few altercations coming through on that side, but as we return back up in towards Picado, it's going to be Virtual Gaming now, stepping up for their opportunity to have a bit of a go at the players here from VST.
Oh, Virtual Gaming just smelling blood in the canyons right now. It's a little sandy, but they're going to be finding one or two. And VST will have to, unfortunately, just fall back with only 3 members left to their roster as they move on through the rest of this Miramar map. And currently, I mean, in the matter of seconds, while everyone was doing their looting and making their rotations, you know, we went from that southeastern band on the zone to nearly a perfect north to south just line down that zone as the teams have tried to center up around
Манекен на турнире был спален софтом? В смысле? А, у них сегодня игры, да, тоже у Европы? Напишите по-братски. У них вроде сегодня, да, вчера выходной был, сегодня должны играть они, по идее. Европа. А там тоже результаты посмотреть, чё как. А, ну вот, как я и говорил, нормально сейчас. По вот этой трассе заеду через Монтенуэво спокойно. И зона наверх уйдет в сторону ЛСов. Прочитано жесть. Вот это левее Сан-Мартина будет зона. Сейчас ХГшку вот эту Кратофилд забрать. И все, можно всех от Дяры Гужу делать.
the vicinity, those buildings, the terrain.
Сейчас выше Монтунелла заедут, расчекают, дальше поедут на скалу, возможно, и скалу заберут. Тут с сплитом поиграть надо. Двойку вниз отправить и двойку на скалу, чтобы никто подъехать не мог. Двойку примерно на скалу надо этого. Панчера и Тика поставить на скалу. Axzcer и Psixa куда-нибудь вниз.
And make something of it.
Вдвоем.
Obviously, that's going to depend on what the surrounding teams have to say about
Либо
that,
Axzcer,
because
Teaq вниз,
everyone here
Psix Панчер
absolutely
наверх.
competitive to the absolute T. So Triple Esports as well. I mean, the team unfortunately already down to 2. They have managed to get some of those consumables up. Still a little bit hurt, you know, and injured as they're moving through power grid here. I don't know
Я
where,
чуть-чуть
where would you
понимаю.
say they should potentially just
Когда
jump
про нас
into the
что-то
action,
говорят,
because
я
Alga is still pretty open.
слушаю.
Yeah, I definitely go for a little bit more of a western position, right? There's, as we can see on the map, there's still a lot of opportunities and a lot of, you know, positions to be occupied. But it does seem like the teams are starting to
Сегодня Европа не
migrate.
играет, а у них
As you
что
say,
там
that
расписание
quite
какое-то
a few
другое.
teams actually opting right in that
Там же
direction.
вроде выходной
Also,
один
we
день
see
между
opting
играми.
in a direction
У них
is gonna be the
походу
best.
другое, да,
There's a
расписание,
flame
надо посмотреть.
closer and closer on towards leaders esports, and this could be the one that we've been
Ну,
waiting
за вот
for
эту
to come
позицию
from.
сейчас
There's
много
the flame.
файтов будет.
Yeah, the rematch. I've been waiting for this since Sanhok.
Зона рядом будет с
We
этой
already had,
позиции.
you
Вот.
know, a little bit
Либо
of back and
здесь,
forth.
либо
Leaders
налево
Leaders
уйдет.
trying to take out Flacco, then they
Вот
coming back
Титаном
and taking
слева
out
надо
Western.
сыграть.
Maybe
под
they'll move on
Кратофилдс.
forward into the action here.
Где-то
Super
скалу
King
забрать.
Stars, however, might have poked the bear of 1 million esports moving on through into the zone. And again, both of these teams outside of the zone, closer to.
Если завтра будет Европа, можно рестрим Европы сделать завтра, если что.
Yeah,
Келли
definitely
Синдерман?
to try and get those rotations sorted. But
Завтра
for
же
the time
выходной
being,
же
we
здесь
are
на
looking
Африке.
at a little bit
Когда
of
на
a-
Африке
the-
выходной
the-
будет,
the-
я
the
могу
range
Европу
attacks coming
рестримить.
through.
Там уже
1 million
клинфит
trying
есть.
to wrap around.
Там уже сам
Venom
комментировать буду.
instead of trying to get away from
Не
the
вот так вот
action,
джай
it
общаться,
does
а
seem like 1
комментировать.
million is trying to double up on what they had on our very first Miramar. There's going to be Venom to find the sprays. But now it is up to Murd to see whether or not they can hold on the range. The assault comes through here from Zeref. Ooh, takes a little bit of damage in response though. But they need to act quite swiftly, right? Blue Zone has already engulfed them. And now they need to find a way forward. Fortunately, it's only that second phase blue, so it's not going to be too devastating with regards to damage. But still not a position you want to get caught out in or linger in for too long.
No, absolutely. Move a little bit further through and hopefully get yourself into a fantastic, you know, positional play. As you saw that coming through from Slime4KC on Sanhok, that's really what gave them that opportunity to take the winner chicken dinner. But hey,
Завтра
1
пропадут
million,
школьники,
they're
мужики
not,
останутся.
they're not, you know, brand new to the
Да-да-да.
situation
Не,
or
почему?
this game
Время
whatsoever.
же.
So taking the rotations through to the zone,
Здесь в
they're making
11
good
же
pace.
вроде
And while
старт.
they're at it, they're picking
По-любому.
up a few
Курит шар.
eliminations. Now these altercations, this altercation between
Ох,
Desert Flame and
ё-моё.
Indus Esports, I am just keeping
Ну
my
нормально,
eyes
играбельно,
peeled on that
играбельно.
elimination field,
Нормально.
feed to see if they're going to be taking it
ВСТшек
on.
надо под
Well,
контролем
they
сейчас
could be fielding
зажать.
those eliminations.
И потом на поздних таймингах заехать
Let's go for that one.
справа. Ой,
But
слева,
whichever
то
way
есть.
they look to play
Смело
it,
можно
they
играть.
need to be somewhat cautious because we've got Soul and Myth right there alongside them.
Там
in the
тропинка
fight.
хорошая есть. Вот видите, кемпы?
So they
Вот
will
где
have
трипл,
some
вот
limited options
дроп,
as to what it is that they
и
can
под дропом
do.
кемпы, и под кемпами тропинка вот эта. Вот это очень хорошая тропинка. Там всегда эти китайцы играют на таких зонах. Через эту тропинку, вот эту, через эту дорогу спокойно заезжают.
Titans also on the roll there, but Blackjack again going for a southern position within the zone. We saw
Вот в
a very
11
similar kind of
у
play
нас
coming
по
through from
по
Blackjack
Астане.
yesterday.
Также по идее.
But now we look to see whether
Давай,
or
давай,
not
засек
they can
Кристин.
bring in those additional
Без
improvements
пропусков.
alongside that strategy.
And one of the few teams that didn't have to make any
Просто
sort of
на Европе
shifts, I was gonna say
рестримеров
Legend
много,
of War,
типа
but
там
let's take
все
a look at
рестримят.
one
А на
round right
Африке,
now,
на
who
Африке
unfortunately I found the wrong
вообще
Desert Flame
чисто
esports.
самому
They let leaders
поболеть
go
охота
and
за
they
титанов.
found a few new victims. I mean, one round as well as Wave. I mean, they're happy to take a piece of anyone at this point.
По идее еще КП могли
Yeah,
быть
they-
здесь.
and that's the kind of
На
mentality
Африке
that
там
you
были
need to
разговоры,
bring in,
то что
especially
возможно
looking
на
at the
Африке
position that
КП будут
Desert
играть. Что-то
Flame
не получилось
finds
походу.
themselves on
Вообще
overall
ништяк
rankings,
было бы
right?
и Титаны, и
There's
КП
no
здесь
more
играли бы, если.
opportunity for them to let anything pass them by. They need to grab it with everything they have. And for the time being, it could result
Так и
in a little
называется
bit of a
китайская
Gangan
тропинка.
of the game here between one round, as we see on the opposite end. But Neither of these teams have been able
Алейкум
to
ассалам.
separate themselves in
Мустанг,
solo, so they
как ты,
maybe
Дука?
should look to prioritize that to some extent.
Кішкене
But of
енді
course, speaking of
кешіп келдім.
prioritization,
Ну
it
ладно.
is going to be Vortex.
Самое интересное впереди, как говорится. Үшінші карта и соңғысы Erangel болады для наших. Балық тоже стримит, болеть за Титана? Ну да, по-любому. Он же в организации у Титана. По-любому болеть будет.
Yeah, I mean, immediately, as you said, that jumping into the vehicle and maybe just thinking about a little
По
bit
каким
of an escape
составам
plan
играли
here,
бы?
because
Ну,
the
лучше
rest of the
Агори,
cavalry, very far off.
100%.
Rhino
А
not in a
Болдуй,
position really to
еще
assist
четвертый, не
DPS
знаю
if they
кто.
should get
Возможно,
into some trouble
Фачи.
here, so try and keep the numbers, never
Да,
mind no
Фачи,
numbers for
скорее
you.
всего.
Leaders esports are here to just make those vehicles
Если бы КП играли официальный турнир, Фачи бы в Пионер не ушел, он бы остался в КП. Ждокова, алейкум ассалам.
In PUBG, yes. Oh,
Only in
okay.
PUBG. Only in
Ooh,
PUBG.
okay,
I
had me
mean, in real
stressing
life,
there.
it's a bit of a different story there. It draws too much attention, but let's not expand on that. too much. We do see, however, the players from Lag trying to pull up towards that
Так,
western
о,
side, and
Рози,
they are being
алейкум
met by
ассалам, брат.
VST.
Жақсы,
It's a
жақсы,
pull,
сам как?
finding that knock straight on through. And I like this
Так,
kind of
о,
play
нормально,
coming
наши
through there.
заехали, хорош,
They
хайграунд
trying to
есть.
find any opportunities.
Так,
But again, looking at the zone shift,
налево играть надо
players from
Титаном.
Virtual pushing into
Справа
that
тяжко
southern
будет,
side,
там
triple.
со скалы стрелять
They're
будут по
good
ним. Левых
position
надо закрывать Титаном.
in that zone itself.
Левых надо закрывать, и все, вообще
Miss
изи,
on the
нормально будет.
roll. And then of course it is going to be this fight to continue between VSC and the players here from Lag.
Справа там, который Пауэргридовская гора, там о, обзор очень хороший.
And this is what
В их
allows
сторону вообще не
Pmpl
вариант
to just
идти.
come sneaking in,
Там
pull
две
in a
команды
quick
могут
rescue
играть
mission,
только
and off they go flying
справа.
up the
На
mountain.
горе
But there's
команда
the flame now,
и в битонках
starting to
команда.
take aim
Все.
onto zero
Больше места
tolerance
там
all the
нету,
way up
где
into
поиграть.
those northern positions. Lag also trying to still see if they can maybe get themselves out of the
Надо
pressure, but
левых
it's
пушить.
not looking too great as all the hopes and dreams
Давай,
have come down to
Тюги,
fantasy
Титаны,
and
давайте.
Gaga, who are looking
Левых
to
полностью
piece
надо
this
закрывать
puzzle
всех.
back together.
And for VST right now, I mean, it's a Buddhist here, but Vivo not in a position to assist, so maybe having to look at that rotation here, even though they've done so much damage to Lag, so that could be why it's a Buddhist just sticking around. It doesn't
А вот
really want
насчет
to give
Абалду
this
не
one up.
знаю,
They've got
можно,
those knocks
нельзя.
coming in. They just want to get those confirmations and make
Ертең
sure they get that
Казахстардан
foundation in terms of eliminations. As we see,
Гонза
one of the
ойнайды
teams just
жолда,
lighting up the
сосын
feed, and even that
Пионерде
lead is easily
Фачи
jumping into the action to
и
take out zero
Virtus.pro'da
tolerance. Now,
Мир
Legends
деген
of
бала
War
Алматыдан.
under siege here as Seoul Esports have moved on into their territory.
Yeah, ooh, here we go, Lashin, and I'm trying to swing through with a few
Да,
there,
надо
down
налево
onto
идти.
a
О,
soul,
Абель
but
Мансур,
down
салам,
they
салам.
go, the shots connect on
Алейкум.
through, and it is gonna be
Давно тебя не
Legends of
видел.
War.
С возвращением.
Up comes Solo.
Ребят, кто только-только зашел,
Quick res
лайки
attempt
прожмите
is gonna
по-братски.
come through
Не
towards the ammo
забудьте.
there.
Где-то
Titans
200
now
лайков сегодня
looking to
прожмем.
get themselves situated as they move through towards that southern edge. Soul right there alongside them. You could have a bit of a back and forth coming through between Titan and Soul.
Давай, давай, хорош.
Opportunity. Omar gets
Ай-яй-яй,
down
не
as
заигрывайся
Psix
всех.
lines it up, but also gets spotted. The
Нормально.
shots connects as
Все,
White
ног есть, можно
trying
под
to
ног
get a
играть,
little
по
bit of
идее.
retaliation, just trying to ward them off so they can pull that res on through. It is going to be Wave to be our next team back. And there we are, down to 12 teams as Lag also gets picked right enough.
Так,
Not a single
ой,
elimination to
панчер
their name.
забрали.
Oh, I mean, all of the teams that have dropped so far, unfortunately, have been extremely unlucky.
Да,
Just bubbles
тяжко,
to
да?
the
12
scoreboard.
команд,
A few
41
of the
лайф.
other teams as
Ну,
well
тяжко,
haven't
тяжко.
quite, you know, jumped into the
Плотность
aggression, but
нормальная
still a little bit
у
in that
Африки.
early phase. The teams have
Да,
only just
Teaq.
spotted each other, and one
Чуть-чуть,
mid
да?
is coming through from that southern
О,
side
это 1
straight
миллион, их
into
закрывать надо
Titan's
по-любому.
position here as they
Они
are just
2-2 еще
beaming
играют. Их
across
там
the map
двойка,
right now,
смотрите,
looking
файтится.
for
А,
any
они
and
здесь
every
закрывают.
opportunity to get
Ладно, все,
eliminations.
молчу.
1 million
Они
focus on
вдвоем
Blackjack
четверых
here, and
закрыли.
oh,
Что
no,
за?
in a matter of seconds,
Что за
that will
приколы?
be it.
Мне это не нравится.
Yeah,
Вот этот Синкай капец что-то хорошо играет. Он первый день там хорошо отыграл, там киллов много делал. Надо за ним последить, да. На Титаном заново идет. Против 1 миллион придется файтиться сейчас. Да, есть зона у Титанов. Спину закрывать тяжко будет. Там и ВГС вон идут. Слева по-любому на Титанов пойдут. И 1 миллион еще. Еще и соло в упоре будут. Очень тяжело будет отыграть. Софт? Ну нет, я пока такого ничего не заметил. Ну просто очень хорошо играет. Подозрительно хорошо, я бы сказал. Так, наши двигаются вперед. Соул спина горит, Титанов чекать не могут. А что если по левой пойти Титанам? По левой? Там вроде... Не, по левой нету позиции, где играть. Слишком далеко крутить придется. Титанам сейчас очень тяжело будет. Там 1 миллион идут со спины, и они в упоре уже у солов. Там сейчас будет заварушка нормальная. Режим Айхер надо Тику включать. Панчера потеряли, психу тоже надо включаться. Акзера хаешечки коронные ждем. Все, хорош, маршала нокнул Акзера. Так, ответочка по Тику от ВГСов. Вот я говорю, там 3 команды вокруг у Титанов. Все, маршала, все нету. Хорош, -1. 1 миллион. Они втроем. Титаны вдвоем. Но они ресаются вроде, добора не было. Так, Тика добрали. Вдвоем остались Акзер и Псих. Как беспотные катки. Акзер хорош, хаешечка по ВГСам. Но пушить нету вариантов у пацанов, по-любому. Там 2 команды вокруг. На одних хорош, еще один нок. Акзер от Гаддафи нокнулся, Псих. Где ты? Родной. Акзера добрали, вообще другие там. А сколько команд вообще там с Титанами файтятся? Псих 1 остался. ВГС за зоной погибает. Все киллы должны прийти. Наши, по идее. Наши в игре, нормально. Живет Псих. Топ-8. Все, плюс ПТС уже есть. ВГС ВСТ по сольнику. ВГС минус. Еще плюс плейс ПТС. 1 миллион 1 на ногах. Тик, говорю, Псих, где ты? А вон Псих. Он у соло в упоре. Походу на топ-7 сейчас уйдет Псих. У них 3 чела просто сзади.
Absolutely fantastic work coming through here from leaders to pick up those eliminations. In the meantime, it's a boot somehow, some way, still alive.
Блин, тяжко Психу еще будет. Прям на него еще будет выходить.
But Myth now going to be trying to maybe just, lure them out somewhat. As we can see, Triple also
ну, вот эти 1 миллион, блин, хорошо играют. Такой, хорошо, Псих. Отлично, сразу добрать его надо. Ой, хорош, еще одинок. Захилься, родной. Хорош. Тигр. О, что за тигр этот лев? Просто, блин, Айгер, красава. Конкурентов закрыл же есть. Солянова просто хороший. Ём, на одном хп пикался, прикинь, Псих. Я думал, все, сейчас он. 1 патрон там по Психу пролетел бы и все. Отлетел бы Псих. Охренеть, красавчики. Ладно, хайлайт подарил, килл заработал. Максимум сделал, нормально. Топ-6, плейс ПТС заработал, килл есть, все. Ладно. Самое главное, конкурентов он закрыл, которые впереди идут. 1 миллион, чтобы они отрыв больше не делали. Это самое главное.
decent number
Кто
here.
там? 1
Crucial,
million,
this
ВСТ
will have to play players up from what we can
и
see. So that is
слаймы
gonna cause for quite a bit of contention.
в
So
гонке
yes, 3
вместе с
squads with
титанами.
4 players.
Ну,
And of
соло,
course,
кстати,
the lone survivor
позади
coming through there
идут.
from Pmpl is gonna be 7
Сейчас
Reef.
таблица сверху
Now,
появится.
looking to go. And, you know,
Так,
just
вот
play
Титаны на 4-й,
alongside these other
84,
teams.
у этих
Outnumber them
115.
at this point in time, but as we know, you can still see a few of those surprise performances coming in. Soul sitting on
29 ПТС разница. На пятом соло идут. Если сейчас топ-1 заберут,
and Triple.
они догонять будут наших.
That's
Нормально.
organizations that the teams now need to play
Фигня,
out this
29
final
ПТС.
phase.
Фигня.
Of course, Seven Reef is just going to try and stay as quiet as possible. That zone, once again, giving a little bit of love to all of our full squad still up and Adam as Myth.
Четвертая сейчас последняя будет для наших пацанов. Эрангель будет.
But still an opportunity for them to take it
Не,
further.
ну
Still
псих
have a
нормально там
good zone,
раскидал.
just
Ё-моё,
leaders
зона
have
чуть-чуть
been
помогла
such
еще
head out
базаржок.
that I don't
Но
know
на
if
одном
Esports
хп
gonna have the
пикался, я думал,
opportunity
сейчас его
to focus on
заберут.
anything else right now.
I mean, still, right, it is a little bit of a hide and seek game at this point in time, as the zone has been decided, as we could see, of course, moving further down south, right? But now,
Красавчик. Тигр.
everyone pretty much situated within the zone, but there's so
Я
many
прям, вижу, в
crevices
натуре
to
запереживал,
find
есть
in
прям.
that doesn't really change anything at this point in time. So
Как будто последняя карта в финал здесь играет.
It's gonna be leaders esports keeping it steady, but trying to get themselves set up in anticipation of any
Красиво.
potential plays that could come through. Shadow, and meanwhile, will get traded there by Omar.
Был турнир
See where this one
Брайвола.
goes. Seven Reef still in play, as we can see.
Шапта,
Omar
Лига.
puts the
Өте.
positions back in. That power grid finds his
Брат, там
teammates
ішінде
coming
бес
in
күн.
between, but that is going to be the opportunity for
Сосын
Neza
ешкім финал
to
болады.
jump and just lay in a little bit of that damage.
Oh, just unfortunately revealing your situation to the wrong team here, Seven Reef. And now Myth, of course, they have the same idea, but thankfully for Seven Reef, Hammer jumps into the absolute saving grace and gives them an opportunity to move on forward. Leaders Esports still picking up eliminations and dealing out some crazy damage here.
Ooh, look at that though. Seven Reef
Кажется,
not
ран
done
забылись.
just
Да
yet.
не, нормально все
Keeping it
делали,
up.
по идее,
It is
Титаны.
moment to get taken down as Wasted finds the angle. Down goes Shadowin. Soul now looking to push on forward. This is the opportunity to capitalize on the third parties. They find yet another knock as Wasted.
Я помню, они
Also goes
такую
down.
зону
Up comes the
отыгрывали,
rush. It is up to
Титаны.
Morteza and Gary Boy.
Как раз
Keep
таки
up
вот
the
здесь.
defenses here for the leaders.
С кем они, с
But it's gonna be
Мэдбусами,
a
что ли,
full
стрелялись?
set coming through from Soul. Up they come rushing forward. Hemo
Кто
gets down.
тимспики Титанов смотрит,
Morteza, the
по-любому
next one
помнить
to
должен.
fall.
Здесь они
Rauf
3 в 3,
and
что ли,
White.
файтились. Я еще
Two
этот
contenders
турнир
now on the side of
комментировал.
Soul. They're gonna be going toe-to-toe with Gary Boy, and Gary Boy
Они
trying to
прям
carry
там
the team
нормальную
on through. They
зарубу
succeed by
сделали.
picking up yet another
Прям
knock.
до
White,
последнего
the
не
only
знал,
player
кто
standing
топ-1
between
заберет.
them, and the hit comes through. It is gonna be Weiss to lock it in. Leaders getting taken out with 14 eliminations. on
Ладно,
board.
последняя карта осталась, Эрангель. Ребят, кто лайки не прижал, прожмите, пожалуйста. Буду благодарен от души прям. Сколько у нас уже лайков? Так, 103 лайка, ребят, что-то мы отстаем от вчерашнего показателя. Вчера 150 набрали. Давайте, еще 50 лайков до конца надо. До конца.
And with that, it is an absolutely glorious finish. You can see 5 eliminations
Leaders
alongside their
Esports.
winner chicken dinner. What a play
Тоже
that
лошади,
was.
да, смотри? Кони.
Myth just absolutely
Esports.
stealing it from the clutches there of Soul Esports, who pushed
Африканские
forward to
мустанги.
try and make sure they got rid of their biggest threat, which was, of course, the team right on your screens right now, Leaders Esports, who ran away with some fantastic eliminations there towards Miramar. And, oof, I mean, making it one up above 1 million, who have already started this week with some crazy, crazy numbers. That's already a statement to be made.
Я хочу TeamSpeak
Coming on
посмотреть.
through
Не
nearly
TeamSpeak, ладно,
nearly
момент
reaching the top, but I feel like those
с
eliminations
TeamSpeak,
could have
где
made up for it.
Psix закрыл 1
Yeah,
million.
I mean, it was a
Я
pretty
хочу
impressive
услышать,
showing
что там было в
yesterday.
TeamSpeak.
Once
Там
again,
примерно
I mean,
здесь
one
хорош.
round,
Там
again,
Axzcer
they
обратно
tried to
кричал,
keep
наверное.
attention there. 1 million trying and succeeding, like they just
Я бы
ran away with
закричал.
those
Я бы
eliminations.
сильно
But I gotta
закричал.
agree, right? Leaders stepping up with a much needed increase in their performance. I really love to see them just step out. As we know, it is the former team Umbra. I just want to say the name. I'm going to say it every time I see the name. Just sneak it in there because I love saying Umbra.
Хорошая молодая.
But yes,
В натуре,
really,
ну,
really
я
nice performance
охренеть.
coming through there from Leaders. And I do
Я,
believe
конечно,
Leaders are quite
хотел,
satisfied
ждал
with
здесь,
how
но
this
я
one turned
знал
out
то, что
to
тяжело будет троих
take
закрыть.
place.
Нормально, первого нокнул, второй красный бежит, он его тоже нокнул, и третьему там попадание было вроде. Я вот не увидел, он третьего забрал. Он или зона?
One of the teams in contention, and you know, at some point their level of competitiveness came into question, and we were like, okay, we need a little bit more, we need that performance to come through, and they came in with an absolute banger, managing to actually fight their way through in part of the zone. They had to fight tooth and nail for their position, and again, just I feel like if that last, you know, fight with Seoul Esports just went slightly different way, if they didn't drop wasted at that moment in time and Seoul Esports didn't have that opportunity to push, maybe something would have, you know, ended up differently. But Seoul Esports, they were just hot on the trigger.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Myth, our victors here, taking that winner chicken dinner, also finding a substantial amount of eliminations, right? We did see those 5 come through, but this is doing absolutely wonderful things for the overall stats coming through for Myth, right? Because Myth, moving into this match, they were sitting all the way in 18th place, with 16 points to their name. Now, stepping up, locking in that winner chickens and finding some much...
Да, он всех продамажил, по всем там попадания было. Типа первого нокнул, второго вроде тоже нокнул, и третий вот от зоны вроде.
An advance, you know, just a little bit of a scoot up that leaderboard, and that is what we want to see. Teams consistently attempting and trying and succeeding to acquire those additional points to advance their positionings on the rankings. But of course, all that have been said, we are going to be taking a very quick break, so be sure to stay tuned.
Так, что ласт карта, Erangel. Отставание 29 ПТС. Надо сокращать. А то потом они же сейчас отыграют Erangel. После этого еще же одна карта будет. И там могут, если смотреть 29, да, ПТС, они могут еще больше отрыв сделать. Не, ну қашан көрсетеді. Этот, повторма. Сейчас покажешь, наверное, көрсетеді қазір. Так, я отошел. Сейчас подойду.
Deep minds, we were forced to be alone. Unknowns and nowhere is the same. And even when it seems like there's no way out, we'll grow a little closer. Through water, we flow. All of us together, we're good, we flow. Nothing is the same, but I won't hold back. I won't hold back. I won't hold back. 'Cause we're better together. Better as one. Better together. Better as one. Better together. Better as one. Better together.
If only I had a weapon, I would take over the punching kick. That's nothing. I clearly took down the enemy. If we were to keep the score, we'll definitely be higher than this.
If I hadn't thrown the wrong grenade, I'd be eating chicken dinner for sure. What's wrong, guys? Arguments don't matter. Ultimate Arena decides the victor.
Hello and welcome back to the PUBG Mobile Pro League Africa fall season for 2022. My name is DK, with me is Proxy, and if you're joining us, welcome back. We just got back from an absolutely exciting performance on our second Miramar for the day. That, of course, was match number 3. We are now prepping to move into our 4th match, which is going to be seeing the teams move all the way over on towards Erangel. And as we know, on Erangel, being match number 4, that means that Group B is going to be sitting out on this match. So that is one round, Solo Esports, Team Lag, and the players from VST Gaming. But is over on Miramar that we just witnessed, right? It was such a nice winner chicken dinner coming through there for the players from Team Myth. And of course, leaders also just stepping up. 1 million going crazy once again. What are we expecting moving into this next match as we take a quick look at the highlights from the past match?
Well, I do have to give a big focus, of course, to 1 Million Esports, because they not only took one of our Erangels yesterday, but both of our Erangels. So curious to see what they're going to be bringing to the party. But of course, as you mentioned, one round coming through here did make quite a bit of a splash as well. The rest of the teams, Desert Flame Esports, you know, snaking in the grasses, they also picked up some much-needed eliminations. So curious to see if they can continue that performance coming through on towards Erangel. And for the rest of the teams pushing on through, Titan Gaming really had to put up a fight there towards 1 Million Esports, absolutely swinging.
Yeah, I mean, we did see poor old Reef there from Triple just trying to survive for as long as they possibly could. But, you know, at the end of the day, the odds were stacked against them. The numbers also, and then unfortunately, right, they just fell down. But, you know, good attempt, valiant effort being brought forth. And now the teams actually have the opportunity to showcase their talents as we return to the bread and butter. Well, I shouldn't try and say those next words. Yes, I was going to go for the bread and butter, right? But that doesn't make sense. So the bread and butter PUBG, which is...
Чё, ласкарта топ-1 надо, по-любому.
It's going to be quite exciting to see how the teams now...
ЖБ топ-1 надо прям. 20 киллов топ-1 есть на первое место надо.
It is kind of the love child, right, of the two. Combine those two maps, you end up with a lovely bit of Erangel action. And I want to see what the teams are going to be bringing out onto the battlefield once again.
Absolutely, and once again, placing a huge focus on towards 1 million, but of course, Leaders Esports matching, and not only matching, but actually overtaking 1 million Esports in terms of those eliminations that they brought on Miramar. So maybe this is the start to the Leaders' rise in, you know, potentially overall rankings, but also, I mean, some shimmers of hope for some of the teams that have been so quiet up until this point. We can take a look at those match rankings just to remind ourselves about how that Miramar actually panned out, because again, Leaders Esports picking up 14 eliminations.
Yeah, I mean, that was absolutely insane, right? So
1 миллион 12 взяли. Они 10 киллов сделали, смотри. Если бы сейчас Псих их не закрыл бы, они могли топ-1 еще забрать. Ну ладно, не топ-1, но где-то топ-3.
But I mean, looking at the aggression though, right? 1 million on 10, Soul on 11, Leaders on 14. Some pretty impressive figures being shown here. But of course,
Лидеры 14 киллов, Солы 11 киллов. Солы набирают, да, смотри, обороты. У Солов логотип похож на казахский, если честно, орнамент.
Are one thing, but eliminations are just the cherry on top, and sometimes even more so.
Oh, and then we saw quite a few unlucky teams not picking
Erangel, да,
up
Erangel
those
будет.
much needed points. So hopefully coming through into Erangel, we will be seeing a little bit of a resurgence.
Ох, что там на Erangel будет интересно.
I want to see a bit more from
Чё, Кетк, погнали.
Well, I mean, we're not going to have to wait all too long, as we can see our flight path coming in all the way from Lipovka, making us way down towards Primorsk. So a rather centralized flight path, not smack dab center, but pretty close to that. So I believe the teams should be quite happy with their available options here. But we now need to wait and see where the teams are going to be looking to push down, whether or not they're going to be opting for the usual drop locations, or if they're going to be going for a few of those alt positions. But also then, I mean, I think this phase is going to be an interesting one as well, right? Because it could either be complementary to the flight path, or it could be just an absolute devastating zone coming through.
I'm just saying, it looks exactly like the Miramar we just got. So I am just keeping my eyes peeled on that northwestern part of the map and seeing if a zone just pops up there, because the teams might once again be into the traveling distances that they have to work with. So I mean, it's not far off. north. It's a little bit still more western. So I mean, Hospital, Georgia.
Нормально,
I know
Зона,
1
смело
million are
будут
saying
играть.
yes,
Так,
give us
Крылатый
Georgia,
Лимс,
and a few of the other potential
и давай.
positions here for some of the teams to work with. It's not too
MVP
bad,
по
I would
киллам.
say.
Yeah, it's
Кто?
definitely not bad. It is going to be favoring the teams, especially that like to play
Не
more
показали,
towards that
ладно.
western edge. That like to start the game more towards that western edge.
Так, One Million
Now,
в катке,
You know, there's a
Слаймы
flame
в
comes to mind. We can
катке.
see them already pushing into the
Кто
Gacha
еще
region,
есть?
which they do quite often. Zero tolerance. No strangers really taking a bit of a position towards that sunken city. We got the players there from Triple Esports, of course.
ВСТ
all the
нету,
way
да?
towards Primorsk.
Лидерс
That's actually
есть.
quite a comfortable
Топ-1 только что
starting point,
забрали.
especially looking at this phase, because they can get themselves sorted out and then start worrying about
Это One Million
prioritizing any kind of a
много, да,
rotation to
показывают?
get themselves moved further afield, right? But I'm going to be keeping my eyes on
А
what's
ВГ
happening
Лимс 14,
with
охренеть.
teams like Darkness, for instance, right?
А, это на
Darkness,
Эрангеле
as
чисто,
well as
ё-моё.
the players coming through from Desert Flame
Я думал
again,
по всем
and then of
картам.
course Legends of War. All three of these teams still sitting in a position where they
15
could
килл,
do with
20
some
киллов
more
будет.
points, and we have not really seen
20 киллов и
a runaway
топ-1 от
play,
Титанов.
but we've been seeing those attempts,
Всё,
right?
ждем.
Teams are starting,
По-другому не
something's
канает.
starting to happen. It just hasn't happened to the extent that we want to see it.
Ну надо
Yeah,
пацанам
like you
сейчас
said, those
нормально,
glimmers of
прям
hope
хорошую
coming through
катку
from the
дать.
teams. I mean, especially Desert Flame there towards
Прям
Miramar.
хорошую
Oh,
катку
you
надо.
nearly made the drop. Okay, no, we
Даже
did
если
not go under
топ-1 не
there, still
возьмут,
nice.
где-то ну,
We saw
20
those glimmers
ПТС
of hope
надо
coming through for Desert Flame towards
набирать
Miramar,
за
you know,
карту.
bringing in that
Это
performance
10
that we
киллов,
expected,
допустим,
we're
и
starting
топ-3.
to. For Legends of War, I feel like we found them in those final phases. They just weren't quite in a position to actually capitalize off of anything because they find themselves in a position.
Фастом
where
занимает
one or two
картошку
teams
или
are hitting
берег.
out, they're getting pincered,
Фастом
and,
едут
unfortunately, they
на
aren't in a
фарм,
position to pick up
с
those
фарма на
dominations. For
АВГ,
Darkness, however,
с АВГ ждут прок.
I feel like I want a little bit more
Возможно,
from
это
them.
будет
I feel
гора
like we obviously
починок,
haven't had an opportunity to
либо
watch
это
them
гадка
in
будет
in
где-то.
too much
Ну,
detail.
слева внизу,
But I'd like
либо
to see
зона,
how
мне
they handle
кажется,
this
будет.
because they are towards
Либо
that
вот
eastern
под
part of the zone
починками.
already moving more center.
На АВГ
So
должны
all three
играть.
of those teams now within zone,
С АВГ
they
можно
have an
пофармить
opportunity to
киллы,
set themselves up early.
Yeah, they do. And I mean, if we look at the
либо на фарме внизу
rankings that we see
поиграет.
at the top of the screen, right? There is a slight pattern starting to happen between
Не
first
внизу,
and
а
sixth place,
имеется в виду вот
right? There's a
правее
29 point
АВГ.
difference
Вот
between
этот
first
Титаник же
and
есть,
sixth
там
place.
могут поиграть.
Sixth and seventh, they on the same number, right? 54 points apiece. But
Ну,
from
100%
sixth
сейчас они
place,
поедут в
moving
сторону
further
фарма,
down that
потом с
leaderboard,
фарма на
it's
АВГ,
not too much of a
и там
challenge
уже
to
прок
jump
надо ждать.
with any of
Следующий
those
прок,
teams
когда
to
будет,
move
они
themselves
могут забрать.
further up the
Ну, гору
overall
починок
standing.
рано забирать,
But
на самом
they
деле.
now
Лучше
need to
АВГ
try to
поиграть чуть-чуть.
utilize those opportunities.
Если
Because as
зона
we know,
вниз уйдет,
right,
они
yes,
могут
this is only the second
этот,
day, but the closer we
где
get to the
Фейри
end
Пир,
of the week,
там
more
поиграть
challenging
на
it's gonna
ХГ.
become for any of these teams to change those positions. And we know
Ну,
those
там тоже
bonus
тяжко
points are
будет над
currently at
заправкой
stake here, right?
ХГ. Надо чуть
Teams are
левее
playing
сыграть им.
for the opportunity to gain at most
Ну, посмотрим
those
сейчас
bonus
зону. У них
points.
хорошие
And
тут
after this
ротации.
week, everything
будут.
is reset. They keep the bonus points, but the scores get
Киллов
reset
побольше
in
надо.
totality.
So absolutely, they need to ensure that they're in that top 12.
Если зона
and make it to
наверх
that
уйдет,
Olympic map
они
on Sunday
сыграют
so that they can
на
get those bonus
змейку
points. So
над
again, that
фармом.
consistent performance
Так,
needs
Erangel
to come
Stats,
through here for the teams,
АВГ,
or
Элимс,
at least the teams
12.
that have started off
12
with a
киллов в среднем
fantastic
делают
start. The
на
teams that
Эрангеле.
didn't get that fantastic start, great. Let's start running through with some consistency or some blow-away performances to get you that head start and to get you in the running for that Livic bonus point potential. Because
На
bonus
дефолт
points
отыграют?
into
Да,
the finals,
дефолт
I mean,
отыграют.
again, that's massive. I mean, just
На
setting
дефолте
yourself
хотя бы
up
киллов
earlier
5
above the
сделают,
rest,
если
making sure
нормально
that
будет.
you've already got a head start, even just a bit of a safety net to hold you if you know, not starting off with your best performance in the finals, which is going to be stressful. It's going to be
Хорошая зона
absolutely
будет
crazy. So
АВГ, наверное,
giving
фарм.
yourself every possible
для наших.
advantage. I think that's also just
Если
the
вниз
theme of
направо
the
всё
season
время
of
будет
PMPL
уходить.
fall. And hopefully
Гора
these teams
тоже
will break
нормально,
through.
по идее. Гора
Yeah,
починок.
yeah. I think you're seeing is
Двенашки
improvements,
тоже
improvements,
смело будет
improvements, right?
отыграть.
Slime sitting, as we could see there, in second
Если
position,
зона налево
just
уйдет в
behind
сторону
the players
гадки,
coming through from 1 million, and
тоже
that is
смело могут
absolutely
ХГ
an
забрать
insane
по
play to
фастику.
be having here. But as
Вот
we now
снизу
look
гадки
across
же
the
есть
field, look
лес.
across the board
Вот
to
там.
see what the teams are going to be bringing forward as they look to rotate up, right? Triple still having their position up in towards Primorsk. No urgent need for them to move anywhere. They can still afford to be there. But we are seeing actually one of the players coming through there from the Legends of War, exploring their options a little bit more. With Flick and teammate rolling up relatively
Так,
close
ЛВ
to the
поехали
players there
уже,
coming
да,
through
смотри,
from
гору
Desert
забирает.
Flame. Not quite sure
над Фейрипиром.
why the extensive scout, it is quite a reach away from
В
where
сторону
the rest
Квари
of the team
поедут
is.
или здесь
But
будут
maybe they're
играть?
looking to find another potential rotation, and
Если здесь
if
останутся,
they
значит
opt for a
где-то
bit of a
зона будет
western
слева
play,
внизу.
I can't really
Нормальная
fault that
зона для
because,
нас.
again, we see that entire western region be pretty much open for the taking.
Absolutely, because 1 million, I mean, one of the teams we would normally see in Georgia pull all the way up there towards Kameshki because of that zone.
Я Сонгу сымнал.
They rather opted
Сонгу,
for, you know, getting
ну
the
для
team
наших.
on the ground as
С
soon
Деклери
as
на унять,
absolutely
собственно,
possible.
на
So
отдых.
with that western part of the zone still up for the grabs, I'm hoping some of the teams are going to take advantage of, you know, at least Gatka.
Ребят, в чате есть этот, ссылка на Telegram. Туда.
And here for some of the
Если
teams making those
подпишетесь,
later
вообще ништяк
rotations,
будет.
such as Mad Knight,
Я
Virtual
туда
Gaming,
результаты буду скидывать.
I don't think they're going to have too much
Я
trouble. It's
скидываю
only
туда
really that virtual
результаты.
gaming to slime 4K
Если что, там моменты
giving me a
всякие,
little bit of worry there towards the northeastern part of the
допустим,
zone.
хайлайт
And you can see
вчерашний
even Desert Flame, they
топ-1
just saw leaders
закинул.
run past them.
Yeah, they did see them run past them and they did not react, right? Instead, they just
Я
really
анонс
looked
стримов
on
туда
as
закидываю.
the players are rolling on
Если у
by
кого-то
them. But, I
колокольчик
mean,
не
that's good
работает.
rotation coming through from leaders though. Just getting themselves situated a little bit closer towards that zone. So
18 килл
they could be
топ-1.
they could be smiling quite a
Ну
bit
рядом,
on
рядом.
that
Я
front,
20 сказал.
moving into those later stages
Тюрьма килл и
as we are yet to
топ-1.
see where the zone will be going. But an interesting development we see here is that Skydo is pretty isolated from the rest of the
Им
team.
сейчас надо очень
Quite
хорошо
a
отыграть,
distance
чтобы
away. The rest of the
они
squad
же
meanwhile
последнюю,
will be all the way down
получается,
towards
катку,
that
пятую
wood
пропускают.
positioning.
И там
So
на
not
пятой
quite sure
катке,
what
как
the
вчера, вот,
point
они
of
на
this,
первом месте
is,
стояли,
because we
четвертую
don't
катку,
really see
когда
Skydo in
отыграли.
the vehicle,
И потом на
but they
пятой
are
катке
gathering
сразу 3
information,
команды
right?
их
They are looking
обогнали.
at the players here from the super young stars rolling by
Поэтому
them.
надо вот
And
эту
this
катку
could
прям
lead
очень
to
хорошо
a
отыграть,
potential
чтобы
setup coming
еще
through
кто-то
from
не
the rest of the
обогнал.
squad.
Yeah, so I
И
mean,
отрыв
Zero
большой,
Tolerance
чтобы
right
не
now
было.
running like a 1-2-1 setup, you know, getting some scouting information as you
Вот,
mentioned,
Димаш,
Skydo laying
это я
low,
поддерживаю
making
от
sure that they
души.
get as much information as they
Давайте
possibly
лайк, лайк,
can, with
басек.
putting themselves in a bit of a disadvantage here, but of
Один
course
скилл
now
топ-5,
Mad
Локи,
Knight
капец ты,
pulling up
ё-мо,
into
не веришь, что ли, в
darkness,
наших?
just spotting it out and being like, okay,
Зона
maybe we
вниз
don't
будет,
yet
под
want to be
починки.
taking that engagement,
Либо
which I
гадко.
prefer at this point in time. Let's keep the numbers as much as possible, especially with that
Под
new
починками
zone coming
зона
on
будет.
through. You don't want to get
Сосновку
get
цепляет,
too
возможно,
comfortable
даже
just
мост
yet.
будет.
Make sure that you're going to be in a comfortable position to get those rotations
Двенашки,
on as
АВГ,
quickly as
гора
possible. As you can see,
починок,
those
заправка.
western parts of the
Вот,
zone
4
still
позиции
pretty open,
хорошие.
still pretty up for grabs at any
О,
moment in
пожалуйста,
time. It
ребят.
seems center up and okay. So the zone shifting a
Аналитика.
little bit more to that southeastern position.
Так,
Right
что
now,
нашим
okay, so
делать?
we're focusing on those Pachinki's.
Панчера
And of
надо
course, I
убирать
mean,
оттуда,
unfortunately, here for
по-хорошему.
Arab Golden, if they want to stay on military
Гору
island, they could
двенашек
have stayed,
забирать
but
надо.
it's rather better that they got
Гору
onto the main
двенашек
island
надо
sooner than
забирать
later.
сразу, прям сейчас.
Yeah, it's quite surprising to see
И
no
вообще
team
пофигу.
really going for that southern
Либо
position,
АВГ, либо
but
гору
that is gonna
двенашек
result
надо
in a
играть.
very, very contentious play, especially looking at that coastal region where we
Ни
have
тому, ни
Titans
этому,
moving forward.
19 скилл.
But of course, towards that
Сегодня
southern
взрыв,
side,
брат,
it is gonna
говорит.
be the super young
Что-то
stars
один
and
скилл
Zero
топ-5
Tolerance
вообще
now.
азгой.
Exchanging a few hits back and forth.
Как
Up
будто
comes an
всем бесит.
absolutely insane rush through now from the super young stars, but they are greeted in pretty decent
Зона
engagements
хорошая.
there from the
Можно,
players of
можно еще
Zero
20 киллов
Tolerance.
сделать, топ-1
Unfortunately for
забирать.
Zero Tolerance, they've now lost one of their players. Fortunately, the rest of the
На,
crew
на
is
горе
positioned
двенашек с плитом
elsewhere.
встать надо.
They could
Либо
look to
АВГ
continue
забрать надо.
engagements here,
С
but
плитом
it is
тоже.
gonna be the super
Но
young
АВГ
stars
тяжелее
now
будет
having
отыгрывать.
to
Там
get
из
themselves
картошки, из
all
фарма
patched up
могут 2 команды
before
приехать.
it's connected
Потом
through
могут,
coming in from 1 million.
получается, в
Ooh,
ЛГ
and what
заехать
a
под
fight to
туалет.
take
Это
1
уже
million.
3
We've
команды
seen what
могут
they can
работать
do
по АВГ.
with their firepower in recent days. And of course, as
Поэтому
we
лучше
know,
гору
one of
двенашек
the teams
забрать.
to watch because so far they have the
Туда
record in
подъехать тяжелее
PMPL
будет
for Erangel maps. They have all of
остальным.
the winner
На
chicken
АВГ
wins.
легче будет
So I'm
подъехать
curious to see
остальным.
if they're going for, you know, a third Erangel win in a row potentially.
I mean, they could be looking to triple down on
Псих,
that
псих,
one, and
я
now
говорю,
there's
твой
gonna be a little
комментатор.
bit of a push coming
Этот,
through from
африканский
Late
стрим
Boys.
дома?
They're keeping a very watchful position here, but up comes the rush.
Айрлар,
Lazy
айрат,
Boy now
мсгар.
quickly
Айрат,
just,
по-любому.
making sure that they use as little
Других
effort as
вариантов нету.
possible to get that
Морской вариант
elimination
жоп.
secured. And now
Керек
that
қазір.
results in
Топ
Nosa
1.
and Mord now having to move and get themselves resituated. But I mean, it's about time because the zone has moved south. And speaking about that, we do see the players here from Zero Tolerance now also feeling the pressure as they are getting caught out by Virtual Gaming moving in. That first confirmation has been found. Lord will get sent away. And Zero Tolerance now reduced down to only one remaining player. Not quite sure
63
how
килла и
this is
тик
gonna pan
1
out for the
останется. 63
remainder
килла
of
не
Zero
сможет он
Tolerance's
сделать?
game. It's definitely gonna change
Уже
up
не
the
сможет.
strategy.
I mean, looking at this point in time, Zero
Своих же
Tolerance
не убьет
also
еще
making
плюс.
a bit late getting into the action. Going to be very interesting virtual gaming as
И до
well.
этого
Just
псих
on the
тренинг
outskirts, setting
передавал.
themselves up
Ну,
as
псих
Wave
выдал, да,
sort
ультанул
of
псих.
surrounds them in a 2-2
Психанул.
split. So curious to see what happens with that one. Triple Esports on the other hand. This time, obviously, not 7 Reef to his lonesome. They are still surrounded by their teammates, and hopefully they will be able to keep them around as Arab Golden have moved on a little bit close towards their territory. Interested to see if Arab are actually going to be going for this
Давай,
one, or if they're just
Teaq
going to be
делай,
letting it
говорит.
slide. You know, keeping the information, you know, but
Режим
not
Тики,
jumping
Даняр,
at the
давай.
opportunity just yet.
Косындар.
I mean, if they choose to just remain there and just gather the information and not act at this point, I think that could be quite a respectable play to be taking at this point in time. It's all going to come down to what Triple Esports is going to be doing with their
Не,
position,
гору
whether or not they're
12
gonna
надо
be looking
играть
to rush in on
по-любому.
them,
ЖБ
or
вариант
maybe
это.
just keep their
ЖБ
distance.
прям.
But
На
speaking about keeping
топ-1.
their distance, that is not the case. Looking at the players here from Wave and
Не, они
Virgil,
справа
as we
остались,
did have
смотри.
that first knock come through on
Ладно,
towards Baruti,
проверим
but up
сейчас.
comes a sneaky angle here from One Shot, trying to see if they can leverage the surprise element to find a few of those trades in towards Wave. Wave
Не, нормально
actually been showing
оказывается.
some
Не
pretty good
прочитал я. Ну,
consistency
АВГ
from being
12 в
honest,
зоне.
right? I mean, not having
Сейчас может
insane,
обратно
insane
прок на
luck so
скалы
far,
уйти.
but they've been relatively decent. I mean,
Потому
they've
что
got a
воды
really
много.
good balance with regards to placement points
Но
and
от
the
воды
amount of
сейчас должна
eliminations
зона
they've been able
уходить,
to
поэтому наверх, скорее
I mean,
всего,
we've at
зона
least been
уйдет.
able to see them in these
Сосновки
later
слишком
phases
мало.
of the zone, just jumping into the action
Зона
and making sure
наверх
that
и
they're
на
still
скалы,
in
скорее
contention. And,
всего. Сейчас
with
надо
nades,
перетягивать
I was
всех
gonna say,
на
with nades like
скалы.
that, they might be
Там
looking at
уже
taking
один
virtual
сидит у
gaming, but they
титанов.
immediately get a return on
Нормально.
their
Прочитали
investment,
зону,
and not the one
прочитали.
that they were looking for here.
Я
But
ошибся.
Sakura running through, taking out one shot. Now virtual
Ну,
gaming
даже если
under
с
some
12
pressure here,
играли бы,
as
нормально
Zeus and
было бы.
Yapos, they are down as the last remaining
12 тоже в
hopefuls here
зоне.
for virtual
Ну, горят
gaming to
12.
keep them in this.
Oh, but
Справа
whichever way
просто
they
очень
look
много
to take
команд.
this, right, they need to take into consideration that blue zone is going to start closing up in the next few moments. But up comes the rush, though the shots connecting on through, and it's going to be a
Африкандықтар
beautiful play coming in there
сөйлейді,
from
говорит.
1 million once again.
Білмеймін,
Virtual
қараған
Gaming on
жоқпын.
the responsive here. It is going to be their pause now, trying to put up the defensive position. We have Wave right alongside them. Super Young Stars rushing in from the north as well. And
Надо,
this is
чтобы
now
1
turning
миллион
into
закрыли сейчас.
well, a
Блин, эти
square
1
of
миллион
two
все
squares.
время kill me
Team's gonna
shot.
be looking to fight it out.
Каждая
Wave still
карта
holding
kill me shot.
out of this position just yet. They are the team that is closest to that zone. They need to decide how to
На,
play
он
this one out.
погиб,
Meanwhile,
смотри,
if we
спрыгнул.
look down to the southern edge,
Он хотел
just
спрыгнуть,
just
тиммейта
converge
поднять,
on
спрыгнул и
the
сдох,
position.
короче.
They're looking to get themselves set up on this most important side.
Ой,
They still have to
фейспалм.
deal with the players coming through there from Legends of War. And speaking of dealing with
Капец ему
things,
стыдно,
right, it's gonna
наверное,
be
блин.
the players from Leaders
Неудобно.
Esports and
Ладно,
Desert Flame going
бывает.
toe-to-toe just on the outskirts here of Pachinki. Neither of these teams have had that anchor point set up into the zone itself. So it's going to be an absolutely essential engagement, especially looking at the players here from Desert Flame. They need to find these points.
I'm not sure if Desert
1
Flame
million?
Leaders Esports
Блин,
played
прими
too
его,
much
честно.
but this is the third map in a row that they keep finding each other. How are they making this happen? Either way, Desert Flame
Сейчас
Esports now
после
are happy to
катки
turn their
посмотрю
attention to any
обязательно.
team at this point in time
Википедия,
to pick
да.
up some of those
Ай
eliminations.
там.
Flacco still in the thick of it, being one of the closest here
Так,
towards
псих,
the
хорош.
who have
Первый
just
фраг
recovered
пошел,
all their losses,
нормально.
got everyone raised
Начинают
up and
фармить,
healed up,
пацаны.
and now are looking to rotate on out as Wave also makes their rotation through. Buden though, caught out there by Shadowin. Just a pixel around the ridgeline.
Как будто на японском что-то
I mean,
сказал, да?
that is so unfortunate, but at least, you know, the birthday boy will be able to survive it, right? They've got the teams right there alongside them, so they should be okay. But what I'm worried about is going to be the players here from
Так, о, 1
million
миллион.
going
Давай,
in
давай,
as
вот эту двойку
well.
закрыть надо.
That
СНК и
could be
Венома.
spelling quite a bit of a disastrous position. As we can
Они
see
киллов
SNK
очень много делают,
having that
хорошо
nade
играют.
cocked up, tries to send it over in the direction of Flacco. It finds the point. The birthday boy
Его
will
со
not
СНК
get
манекенями
anything
спас
other than a few
случайно?
candles that get snuffed out as
Так,
they
ой,
get
хорошо,
taken on down.
СНК
And out comes the
нокнули,
rush
надо
now onto
забрать
Psix,
его.
who also
Венома
falls.
тоже надо
And all the
забрать.
hope now
Одна
turns over
аптека.
towards Dewas, who needs to keep the pressure on if they are looking to
1
be in
миллионов надо
contention.
закрывать
But I
здесь
mean, 1
по-любому.
million, right? A very unsurprising
Наши
showing
без
of
потери, один
aggression
килл.
coming from them here. And of
Так,
course, Venom is
следующий
gonna be
прок
the final
появился.
hopeful, but it doesn't seem like well, I don't want to jinx it, but you know,
Куда зона
with
ушла?
one player left for 1 million, I don't know if the chicken dinner is on the board.
Yeah, Triple Esports just stepped in the nick of time
1
there to
million
actually give
cryptics,
Desert
па?
Flame some sort of a spacing. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. They do
Я
get
помню
themselves
Lazy
down to
Boya.
14th team, but because of that 1 million now resulted
Вот
in
не
one
помню,
player left
какой
alive.
состав
Slime
раньше,
Fortress,
как
of course,
назывался.
bringing in
Все,
some of
1
that
million
pressure,
минус.
hopefully,
Нормально.
towards Blackjack
Хорош.
Esports
Еще
here.
слаймов надо
Unfortunately,
закрыть
at their
теперь.
response
Слаймы
now.
давай,
Oh,
вот они
Phoenix
как
has to
раз.
be the first one here for the response.
Ё
Yeah.
моё.
As the push just comes
Степ-бэсочкой
on through,
бегает.
DBS action right to the face.
Oh, but look at that. Gal now driving
Зона
it in
вниз к
quickly.
нашим ушла.
Oh,
Нормально.
the first one onto it. Phoenix now gonna be trying
Играем.
to find Zane as well. Ends out the utilities.
Ну чё, парни, поиграем?
Gonna be one for them.
Так,
Up comes the
конца.
push. Now the damage is secured, and that is
37,
gonna be
37
Zane
осталось.
down for the
Вот
count.
сидит
Two players
Адам,
now left.
вот зашкил
Inside their
потенциально.
blackjack, it is gonna be Krona right on the very edge.
Вар. Так, все,
Making
сюда
that
давай,
dash
давай,
towards
едь,
that
едь, давай
entry,
на скалы.
looking to get themselves
К нашим.
situated, but Titan, part of the welcome
Пантер,
activity on
давай.
the very edge of zone. Buncher taking aim, comes in
Ой.
with the spray with the M4, trying to lead those shots, making
Как
a little bit of a
пропустили.
connection, but not
Давай,
sufficiently
Панчер,
so to
догоняй.
explode that
Фри
vehicle and
ПТСки,
put a stop
ё-моё.
to the rotation
Забирать
there
надо.
from Blackjack. They will of course be presented with
Эх,
yet another
пропустили. Давай, ладно,
opportunity,
слаймов
and that
надо
is gonna come
забирать.
in the
Вот
form
слаймов
of
надо
Slime
ЖБ
for
забирать.
BT. Now having to relocate, but up comes Darkness and Mad Knight going toe to toe for a bit of a fight to see who will be able to walk away with a controlling position in these compounds. It is going to be the Beast to pick up that confirmation there. Super Young Stars getting eliminated. Mad Knight still looking
Так,
pretty
второй килл
contentious
сделали,
here, but up
хорош.
comes Bilal. Let's see where this one's
Еще
gonna
нок
go.
дали,
Oh,
хорош.
yes, this is gonna
Ой-ой-ой,
be on
там
the
2
doors of
нока в ответ
Darkness.
дали.
Nade
А,
is
нет,
out.
1
Oh,
нок.
quite some good
Axzcer
damage on
нокнулся.
Amawin, but not sufficiently so.
Ну, никто не заедет.
Now Darkness just
На
hoping
скалы
and
к ним
praying that
никто не
something could have
заедет
happened here,
вообще.
but Tyson is going to find that final nail
Так,
in the
зона
coffin
левее
of
ушла.
Darkness as
Надо
they get
полностью
sent
сейчас
back to the
закрыть
lobby. And we're
правую
down to our
часть.
top 10 teams here who have made a
Короче,
very
Axzcer
good
поднять
push for
надо,
that
и
zone. It's
двойку
only
надо
Slime
уже
Fortress
отправлять
who are the
потихонечку.
last
Все, по
team
миникарте
to
видно,
really get
заезжает.
their foot into
На МН
that
заезжает
zone,
как раз.
as, of course,
Они
Titans have that ridge line
сразу
hold that they're
заезжать
just
не
keeping
стали,
for
на
now,
краешке
but quick
остановился.
dash into zone and they should be set as well.
Надо
The
сплитом
rest of the
встать.
teams also
Двойку
just need to
оставить на
focus on,
туалете
okay, well, who's their
и
next
двойку
opponent?
запустить
I
в
mean,
зону.
for Wave, if they can take out Virtual Gaming, who is 2 spots ahead of them, that's an opportunity for them to not only close that gap, but potentially overtake them on that leaderboard
Спину
and get
пропускать
even
нельзя,
higher
пацанам,
up and in
по-любому.
better
А то
standings for
зажмут
that living
самбаров,
bonus point
потом
map.
спина еще.
Yeah,
А все, в
yeah. I
спине
mean,
никого
you're in the
нету.
top
Нормально.
quarter to reach that point, so we'll
Офигенная
see how this one
позиция.
plays out, but I mean,
Ну,
surprising
зона сейчас уйдет,
position coming
походу.
through there from the Arab Golden, right? You can see them just holding
На
strong
двенашке, что ли,
over
уйдет?
towards that western side.
Хоть бы
Since they've
направо,
rotated in,
по-братски.
they haven't really moved up, but now we see that it is going to be Sin and their teammate now starting to just push up a little bit more towards that eastern side, just trying to get themselves potentially just
Направо.
positioned alongside the players there.
Все-таки на двенашке, гора двенашек все-таки выигрышная позиция была, да?
As well as the players from leaders, and this could be
Кто
now
еще
their moment
говорил
to
в чате,
shine,
кто-то
the moment
писал?
to just capitalize on these positionings and just hone it in.
Эх,
Because Myth also
тяжко,
in a
тяжко
very
будет сейчас
interesting
теперь.
spot, not exactly in zone, but
Не в
super,
тему
super
зона
close.
ушла, по идее.
Absolutely, and Arab Golden, hopefully they are smelling opportunity lying in wait, because they definitely could use a good boost in their overall rankings here, and that could come in the form of Erangel. But as we take a look at this, of course, Titan,
Ай,
with that
психа
ridgeline play,
высадили.
did mean that they're
Сразу
quite
забрали.
exposed. So trying to make that dash for safety is going to mean that Psix is going to be taken out almost immediately, thanks to some beautiful shooting coming through here from Amawin. And now, of course, Wave holding down the ridgeline, and how the turns have tabled.
Yes, the turns have definitely tabled as we can see the teams now looking to push through. Look at Dyson backing a bunch as they connect the shots up onto wood Slime. Position off in the distance. Up comes a quick little mad dash coming in from them as they rush
Так,
towards
Панчер
the
нок
zone.
дал,
Now
хорош,
making a
сразу
play, but they're
забрал.
holding in right
А,
alongside
он
players
двоих
there
забрал,
from Myth, so
отлично,
it could be
отлично.
quite devastating, but speaking about devastation, it is going to be Blackjack being laid
Блин,
to
левее
rest.
прям на скалы
They
надо
now
ехать, Панчер.
taken
Просто
out.
так не проедешь.
Down to our final 9.
Как психа высадит.
Titan still looking to find a good entry point
Можно
to
ног
make. A little bit
попытаться
of a spread
оформить,
out
потом
position
заехать.
through there from the side of Titan, but Slime now gonna be moving right
Хотя
in
бы
the
один ног по
crosshairs.
МНам, если дадут в
Yeah,
амбар,
of
можно
players from
проехать.
both. Potentially opting for a bit of that ridge line
Ну там
positioning,
слева еще на
but
скалах
not
вот эти
really
челы
succeeding in
сидят, тоже
moving
очень
all the
сильно
way to
мешают.
that
Wave.
exact position.
No, absolutely. And taking a look at this now, Myth unfortunately going to have to leave Broly to just stay in the dust for the time being, who was their scout into that zone. So the rest of the teams making their own push as well. We can see quite a few more joining the party, such as Mad Knight, who have to fight their way through potentially Slime 4KT and Myth up ahead, trying to recover at least their losses for the time being. They don't want to let go of their numbers just yet, because they're going to need it for this final battle. And potentially even picking up Slime 4KT, anything at this point in time will give them some sort of an advantage.
Ответочка по Тайсону, панчер в ноке.
And they got to try and capitalize
Один
on
остался
every
Axzcer.
advantage they can find. But look at this now. There's going to be a moment trying to find a bit of a
Поднимает,
spray
хорошо
there
поднимает,
onto
нормально.
Virtual Gaming, as we do have your fours now just flying through the masses. But unfortunately, they meet their end as Rhino comes through with a quick little bit of a how do you do. Down they go,
Top
down
7.
to the final 6 teams. We are
5
Titan.
киллов.
And also bidding there for goodbyes.
Эх, печально,
Trying
печально.
to play all the way from the compound, but they have no other option other than to rotate forward. Wave in a very exposed position. And
Блин,
not yet
зона не
finding a
в тему
secure
вообще
position,
налево
moving into
ушла,
the
вообще
zone.
не в
Not a
тему.
lot of options really here for them to try and leverage. As we are looking at that next shift, moving up in favor of Team Myth, and this is quite the turnaround. As you can see,
Гора,
Myth now just
гора
capitalizing
двенашек
on it.
все-таки,
Still,
да, в
Slime
зоне.
trying to find their way on in. Oh, here we go. A little bit of spray. Plaza finds the necessary connections, but not sufficiently so. Ramsey's still in play.
Oh, and in the meanwhile, Wave sending out some fantastic nades. Pronto and
Главное,
Storm
чтобы
are
слайму
down and out.
закрыли,
And
по идее.
hopefully they'll be able to get those recoveries coming on through, and you can see just sneaking on forward, just hunting those nades, hoping for those connections. And all of a sudden, Slime 4KT have had the tables turned on them, and the turns have tabled
Они же
again. So
прошли на
now
супер
Wave
уикенд.
Esports are
Нету
looking to
супер
not
уикендов
only
здесь.
topple Virtual
Здесь нету
Gaming,
супер
who
уиков.
have been taken out, but
Здесь
potentially
лига
Slime
будет.
4KT and close that
Следующий
gap.
вот сейчас, завтра выходной.
Oh, let's see. Who will be
И
closing
дальше
each
3 дня
gap
точно так же
anywhere
будут
and
отыгрывать.
why, but Upcom
Первые
Rhino
4
now
карты
just
будут
ahead
всегда
of
играть
Plaza.
Титаны.
Locks it in,
Меняться
finds
будут
a
только
good amount
карты.
of damage. But again, right, Rhino just ducking out in the nick of time. Up comes utilities, not really finding the point, but that one does, as it gets sent all the way through there from Kao. And now Zakaria, the final hopeful, could be meeting yet another nade. Finds a little bit of damage coming in once again. But Slime looking absolutely amazing right here, right? They
Всё,
already had
суперуикенд
quite a few
жёлтый,
knocks
теперь
come in their
лига
direction,
это есть.
but somehow they managed to survive. And they just sneak their way
Лигам
on
боюнча
forward.
16 команда шығады финалға.
Could be making a bit of a bounce. Oopsie. There we go.
Призовой
Zakaria
лига да
getting
бар и
bounced
финал да бар,
right back
поэтому
into the lobby. And now Slime
ойнау
can turn
керек.
their attention back to the rest
А
of the
так
lobby.
лигадан
Looking to try
16
and
команда
close out
шығады
the zone. We can
финалға,
see the players there from
поэтому
Triple now also just getting absolutely
Easy.
obliterated. But Myth
смело шығады.
coming with 4 players all the way to this stage of the game. Now losing moment as they get knocked down. Ramsey, fortunately there to lend a bit of a helping hand, but also then gets knocked right on down by Morteza.
Oh, and
Из
Arab
СНГ,
Golden
да,
Esports, they
наши
can just
Титаны,
relax and
и
watch all of this
получается
unfold right up ahead of them, as they have the highest number count moving into this final
ВСТ.
four, and potentially maybe take this even a little bit further. Leaders Esports now making their
Организация
moves on towards
СНГшная
Myth,
ВСТ, но и
and potentially
этот,
an
игроки из
opportunity to
Африки.
take them out here.
Well, let's see how this one plays out. It is going to be now up to Legend, leaders rather, to move on through, inching their way up towards the very western side of the zone, asserting and spreading themselves out alongside Myth. As you can see, a very steady waiting game coming through here from Morteza, waiting for that opportune moment to strike. It is going to be up to Faroli, just trying to play it as quietly as they can. But here we go, Morteza waiting with the DP28 in hand. And once they let loose, there's not going to be much to stop that. But Arab Golden holding a beautiful angle here. Still 4 players strong. And that could be what's
Слайм
required.
закроет, выйду.
Chicken dinner. But it's going to be worth a lot
Хочу
of a fight.
досмотреть.
Quite a big fight, in fact. But
А
Arab
ЛС
Golden
могут
already
еще один
8
топ забрать, по идее.
elimination strong. So I wouldn't be surprised as if they actually were able to pull it off. They've got the elevated position as well.
And the only one that I'd be worried about right now.
Не, нормально, самое главное, сегодня ПТС заработали.
Who's busy sneaking up on that ridge line.
Чуть-чуть меньше, конечно, чем вчера.
Who's now blessed
Всё равно.
Team Myths, and with these nades coming on through, that might mean the end here for Morteza, depending on how this
Там
connection
сильного
might come
отрыва
through.
нету.
But push on comes through, and hopefully that comes the trigger here for Myth.
Oh, wow. Morteza not even taking a single drop of
ТПшкой
damage
играет,
in that
базара нет.
altercation. Absolutely
Олд
insane. But
видно,
now
да?
there's going to be that rush. It's going to be Arab Golden and Slime going
Хорошо.
toe to toe. Up comes Scout with that DBS, trying to find the hits, connects them
И
up.
Слайм
Off they
еще
go.
вдвоем топ-1
And of course, the
заберут, что ли?
utilities coming out as well. Let's see where Slime's going to end up in this one. But
А,
Arab Golden
вообще не
putting up
вариант, чтобы
quite
Слаймы
the
забрали
fight.
топ-1.
Oh, they're coming on through already with 8
Ой,
eliminations and
какая
they've been handling
хорошая.
themselves pretty well, and that nade onto Pronto is going to mean that they have so much more opportunity.
О,
They
остался,
just
да?
have to look for the DBS
ДБС-кой.
master himself running through the
Опасный
grasses,
чел.
looking for an opportunity and angle to get into the fight here.
Ну а тебе?
Oh, but
А,
up
все,
comes the
хорош.
sprays. It's going to be Gal. Oh, down he
Хорошо.
goes. It is going to be Arab Golden
Ладно,
Esports
теперь қыздар.
to take down Slime for Gatesy. And now the
Заканчивать
fight will
будем
be
потихонечку,
between
да?
Leaders, Esports and Arab
Так,
Golden.
от души
Looking
все,
to ride it
кто
out.
пришел.
Both teams pretty much on two
Там этот.
players, and it's going to be down for the time being.
Завтра что,
Arab
Европу
Golden
будем
will be
смотреть?
looking to bring their player back into the fight. But now it's going to be that final
Не,
snake
по идее,
down,
нормального
that
нет?
final
КП.
showdown.
Новый состав, блин.
Both these teams are really going to smile at any of the opportunities here to lock in those additional points. Coming
Чё, или
with
досмотрим?
winner
Давай
chicken dinner. Look
досмотрим,
at that.
ладно.
Morteza pops it out with a Mark 14, just letting that spray rip, connecting on in, and it's going to be
Кто-то
up to
один
Sin
возьмет.
now. To
Ну,
see whether
Лесли,
or not they
смотри,
can
уже
keep this contention
вдвоем
going.
против
A little
одного.
bit of a scatter play coming in, but here we have it. Morteza sends out the molly. Will that be the one to lock it in? No. It is going to be Wiz to get taken down by the blue. Oh, but up comes the
Nice.
name.
Sure,
That's
you
the
should have
one.
read it,
Leaders Esports secure themselves a winner chicken dinner.
Так, что там? Где? Давайте вертим часами рестрим Pmpl Европа. Там этот клинфит будет. Сам покомментирую. Бүгінге болды. Титаны все 4 игры свои отыграли. Сейчас они пропускают 5-ю. И таблицу скину, короче, в Телеграм скину. Ссылка бар, по идее, чатта бол керек. Қайда? Да, моя телега деп Nightbot жіберді. Сол жерден қарайсыңдар результаттарды. Все, давайте, жігіттер, қыздар, до завтра. Всем рахмет.